we get started, if you know someone who wants to play one of my games, send them my way. I'd love to talk to them. I do have a couple one-shots coming up. One is going to be happening on November 17th. And the other is on November 21st. Those signups over at gameric.com. Go check those out. They're going to be a lot of fun. We got some amazing players in those. Also, Patreon's live over at patreon.com/gmeric. Go check that out. We've got a lot of fun announcements going up on there all the time. And there is a announcement that's going to be coming out tomorrow about the prize for the clip contest. It's super exciting. Speaking of the clip contest, if there's a moment of a session that you like or a timestamp, toss a clip or a timestamp in the clip contest channel in Discord. It'll be automatically entered for a drawing at the end of the month for the prize that will be announced tomorrow. The Patreon people already know what it is, and it is awesome. I do GM tip videos and archives over at YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Go click those. If you do see them, do hit the thumbs up and like them. I do appreciate it, and share it with your friends. Let's get you guys started, because it's time for you guys to play some D&D, and we got a lot to cover today. So much to cover, because the party is split clear across Toivoa. Not that that's different for the party or anything, but some of the party are out here in Nausea, and some of the party are off the coast of Australia, specifically Bryn Gemflower. Bryn, we're going to check in with you to start the session today. As you are waking up from your long rest, your ship is sailing southwards. You have another 5 days before you arrive at the rendezvous before Akeda. What would you like to do this morning, sir?
To be clear, is this the next day?
It is the next day.
Okay. I imagine that night was quite sleepless because we have the party split in several different ways, and Saphira has once again put herself in mortal danger without warning the rest of the team first that it was going to happen. So first, let's recharge some magic items that recharge overnight. The Wand of Identify is probably the most important because that determines how many books we can read. 2, that is enough. Because I think we only had 2 left. Or maybe we had 3 left. I'll have to go back and check. But we'll get 2 charges back. And then I also have a walking stick that recharges every night. And I need to roll 3 new d20s. That will do just fine. 8, 10, and 15. 8, 10, 15. Good. Yeah, I think the next thing we're going to do in the morning is make sure that everybody's still alive. So we're going to cast a couple instances of the sending spell. I'll go ahead and click the long rest button because I spent most of my spell slots yesterday doing that. And then, I'm going to cast sending a couple times. Firstly, we're going to target Sason with the sending spell and ask, morning, checking in. Hope everyone's still alive. Over.
Okay. And with that, we're going to pan the camera clear across the globe, or world, I should say, to Nausea.
World is a globe? Not a globe?
Well, we'll call it the world for now, guys. Sason!
That's some breadcrumbs to chase.
Sason, as you receive this message, I have to ask a couple questions. One,
makes sense.
Did you sleep last night?
Absolutely not. Not even once.
Gain a level of exhaustion.
Yep.
2, I suppose I should ask Saphira. Saphira, did you and Samara put on a show? Or were you rather private?
I don't think Saphira would have stopped it from being a show.
Would not have stopped it from being a show. Okay. Cool. So, Sason, I assume this was awkward.
He has seen things he cannot unsee.
Understood. As you receive the message from Bryn, how would you like to respond? Because
We're fine.
I'm assuming Saphira fell asleep.
I'm
Saphira-
assuming it's Fear's End.
Saphira, would you have fallen
That's
asleep?
Probably eventually.
Okay,
Been a long couple days.
understood.
I'll respond. All fine. I'm an idiot. Danger was far overhyped. Looking forward to getting out of here.
Thank God. Oh, all right. The universe gives one back. Saphira not dead. Sason not dead.
Okay.
Whew.
So, as we've received the response from Sason, we return back to the flight risk because I gotta follow the camera, and we are going through Bryn's morning. Bryn, you've received confirmation that the party has not been slain in their sleep, which, as you've stated, is a relief.
Indeed.
What would you like
The
to
next thing we're going to do is we're going to contact the rest of the party. To the best of my knowledge, the rest of the party is together. So Oshin is out at the moment while he gets his Wi-Fi set up. So instead, I'll contact Seatoad Coin with the sending spell, and I'll just message and say, "Good morning, Saphira and Sason apparently still alive. Just checking in. Any plans for the day? Over."
Okay. Coin, you received this message.
All right. I will type out his response. It's like 25 words, right?
Affirmative.
So, at Consortium, getting another tattoo, back at ship later today?
I think it's the next day already. So whatever you guys have finished up everything you did yesterday and then went to sleep for the night. So are you getting another
Well, right,
tattoo?
but
Or
no, I mean, I don't think he can specify this if it's not a real-time conversation. But if this is,
Mhm.
It is
This-
a
I'm
real-time
assuming this is the
conversation.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll say he knows it's the next morning. I know. He's saying, no, today, like in like 3
Okay.
hours. I got to get another one.
okay. That's all fine then.
He would also at this point. I need to roll for it, but the Chrononacrum key would be recharged, so he
Correct.
needs to figure out. I think he can just set it. Or it's not like the other keys. I don't have to roll anything.
Correct.
He's just gonna set it for this morning. He'll say we have the Chrononacrum key. All good. My new tattoo is amazing. Can't wait to show you it. Toodles.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right.
All right. Well, in that case, sounds like everyone's still alive, and we can check in later if they decide not to come back. So, yeah, Bryn will just see if that everything's in order above decks. If we're not imminently being attacked by a sea serpent, then Bryn will return to his books.
Okay. Awesome. So as you return to your books, Bryn, which book are you returning to specifically?
Well, of the 5, we've read 2 of them, and we have 2 more charges of the Wand of Identify to make sure that we're not going to get cursed. So yesterday we read the Grim Codex of Unholy Ascension, and we read the Voidwalker's Book of Abyssal Paths. Today, let's start with the Whispering Pages of Eternal Torment. So Bryn will do the same ritual as yesterday. We'll use the Wand of Identify to cast Identify on the book and make sure that we're not going to get cursed. And then we will try to read and decipher it
Okay.
once it is safe to do so.
I have sent that to you through Discord.
Excellent. All right. What do we find out about that? It's the tome is woven from the souls of those who succumbed to it.
Ominous.
That's lovely. The user can use the book to summon and bind spirits manipulate the tortured essence of souls, or even inflict relentless suffering on others. However, using the book causes you to get closer to being trapped in it. Sigeos is... So this is another little piece of Sigeos's. It's just sort of the memories of Sigeos's hunt for immortality. It seems that this one was too scary for even Sigeos himself. We've learned from the last couple books that Sigeos is seeking ways to transcend the normal limits of mortality. He's looking to live forever. He's looking to make deals with otherworldly beings if it would help him. He's looking to transcend to other planes. This one is so scary that even he's not willing to use it. And he doesn't want to be conquered by it. So it seems that this one was in his possession just to keep it away from anyone else. But this one doesn't tell us anything about how Sigeos, whether or not he became a lich, or what are the limits of his own power or any weaknesses. But it seems he does have a healthy respect for powers that might be greater than himself. So that's good to know. I think that's all we're going to get about this one. Okay. So we can put this away.
Cool. Awesome. That takes you most of the day, or are you going to read a second one?
Well, we're going to try and read a second one. Okay. I imagine this one is not going to take that long. Actually, Bryn might spend a while on this one. Because he goes through it trying to figure out if Sigeos used if any of these sound like what Sigeos did for himself. But if there's nothing obviously in the book about transforming oneself into a dragon, then it's probably too dangerous to read in any great detail. So I would imagine he spends a good chunk of the morning on this.
Understood. Then we're going to take the camera and we're going to pan to Nausha once again. As you guys wake up, Coin, you've received this early morning message. What would you like to do this morning?
Coin will scamper off back to get another tattoo, and or 6, depending on if he's able.
Cool. All right, so you go back to Akatea's place. We can gloss over the details of walking in there and everything, but she changed you back down to the table. Who all went with Coin?
He's just probably sticking on the ship. He's like, "You going there again? I mean, could you at least bring me some pastries back or something?" But I'm not going.
I'll get you some, but they're probably not big enough to fill you. So I guess
whatever.
I'll get like.
I'm not really looking to have a big meal. I just want to try some pastries.
I'll ask if they have a 20-pound cake.
20-pound cake.
Wait, 20-pound pound cake?
Yeah, 20-pound cake.
Huh. Well,
it's actually a regular size. It's just really dense.
That's the first question Coin asks when he walks into Akatea. It's like, what's the heaviest cake you have?
Akatea is going to greet you as you arrive, and she's going to say, the heaviest cake? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
like metric weight.
Metric. Oh, you mean the mathematical measurements that make sense.
20 pounds.
Oh.
That metric.
Oh, gotcha. Victory units. Understood. Yes, I do have a very strong cake here. It's a 35-pound cake.
Coin lights up. Perfect.
It's made of fruit.
What kind of fruit?
Oh, she brings it out, and it's a chore to carry this on the big platter, and she thunks it down in front of you. It's not much more than a brick of fruitcake.
I'll let you know the dragon's opinion of it next time I come back.
Of course. And that'll be 2 gold pieces.
Coin flips 2 gold onto
She takes it.
the table.
There you go. Would you like the glaze?
Nah, I get plenty of glaze.
Okay.
And he will be like, oh, also the tattoo. Need to.
Of course. Let's
I
get you
understand.
tied up.
Is that really like necessary?
For your
felt-
safety, it is.
Okay. For yours, maybe.
All right. So his coin is alone once again with Akatea. He's going to get tattoos. What kind of tattoos are you getting, Coin?
If it's possible, I think he would just get a touch up on his existing ones. I would imagine being in battle so often, they get torn and cut and
Okay.
worn out. So I preferably for this, he would want to get summoned Draconic, and this would be etched onto the moon at the center of his chest. And he would like specifically want it touched up so it glimmers with like a magic sort of shine.
The Summon Draconic Spirit.
Yes.
Okay. Let me pull that one up real quick because I forgot what level that is. So Summon Draconic Spirit is a 5th
I believe
level
it's
spell.
5th.
Yeah. All right. So. All right. So level 5. She's going to be charging you 700 gold pieces for that one.
That sounds right. I knew it would be expensive. Coin's gonna try and haggle, but it's hard to do. It's hard to like come off as powerful while you're chained to a chair.
Right.
So I think at some point he'll just pull out a bag of 700 and pay it.
Okay. She will perform her ritual upon you where she stabs your chest repeatedly. Please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
With a 13 coin, you fall unconscious as she needles your flesh with her fingernails. You'll
Great.
wake up in
Thanks.
about an hour and a half.
Ugh.
So we're going to pause the camera here because Coin's unconscious and no one's aware, which is great.
It's fine.
It's fine. We've only split the party 4 ways. 5 ways. 5 ways. So, Oshin, you and Ruzid at the moment are at the same place near the Longstriders Consortium. What would you be doing today?
Oshin, you gotta give me more lessons. Well, I can actually cast spells now, but hey, practicing won't hurt, right?
Oshin? Apparently, Oshin has been struck mute by the power of moving.
Yeah.
There he is.
I said we have the time, so I'll help Rusid practice spells.
I gotta figure out how to cast spells with this tooth. I guess I gotta really enunciate things.
Okay. Which spell are you going to practice casting, sir?
Start by probably casting a lot of prestidigitation.
Okay. What are you doing with the spell?
It'll just like clean the deck.
Okay. The deck of what?
The ship, right?
You're not on the ship.
Oh, I completely
You're
forgot
now
what
ship.
action. In that case, you know what? Riz is probably gonna practice making a bunch of random minor illusions, and they're just gonna be different iterations of like what he thinks the Ruzid action figure should look like with like different accessories.
Cool. All right.
Cloak of billowing. Got some armor.
And yeah, and then maybe later in the day he'll try casting some of the first level spells. I'll probably ask Oshin to like try to hit him, and then he's gonna cast shield.
Okay. Oshin, can you please strike Ruzid?
Yeah.
Come on, give me your best shot.
I'm just gonna hit you with the firebolt.
Okay. The firebolt flies outwards. Does the shield block it with the 29, Ruzid?
Ruzid kind of evokes the spell. It's like, oh, duh! And the shield pops out, and it doesn't block it. It's
It
not
burns
enough.
right through the shield.
It burns right through the shield and hits him.
You were
Oh,
so
but
close.
you made the shield. Shield was created.
So you
Yeah.
will suffer
Now-
17 fire damage, sir.
It's progress.
Oh, that singed a little bit, but I mean the spell worked, kind of. I mean the shield popped up.
Yeah,
And then
that
cracked.
was useful.
Not really useful, but it looked cool. Well, maybe it'll help me save me the next time.
Are you waiting for battle, or are you asking me to hit you again?
You know what? One more time.
Okay.
Reassuring tone.
Instead of casting shield, he's seeing it coming at him, and he tries to cast silvery barbs instead.
Okay. The silvery bars, please re-roll that, Oshin.
All right.
Crit, crit,
Crit,
crit.
crit.
A
Oh.
24. Does it still
Still
strike your
hits.
reason? Still
Yep.
hits you.
Or more, actually.
Okay, maybe like you're like a way more powerful wizard than I am a sorcerer, so I don't think this is fair, actually.
What if, we just work on like I'll make a little light on a candle with prestidigitation, and you can just put it out with yours.
That sounds really boring. But
Yeah, just hit me again.
but I guess if it's the same repetitive task, it'll help me get it down. And then when I really need to do it in front of Sageos, then I won't fuck up.
It's up to you. I can just keep hitting you with firebolt.
No, I think we're good. I think let's do that instead, actually.
So, do you light a candle and have him practice putting it out?
Yeah, we'll start with that.
Awesome.
He's like casting the presto by like essentially just just blowing out the candle because he has to cast through a tooth in his mouth anyways.
All right.
Gotta hold your breath while you cast.
But then I can't speak.
All right. So, we're going to pan the camera from these two guys who are practicing their magic down to the Temple of Imkael, where Tati spent the night.
Can I wanna follow some of the priests that have more experience conducting funeral services and try to find any stories of Sageos, especially the oldest ones, of people that died whose lives might have been affected by Sageos, or
Ooh.
people's whose memories might take them back to earlier.
Okay.
What?
So, they will pull you off to the side, Tati, and sit down on a stone bench. We do have a bit of a story. Sageos was rumored long ago to have attacked the town of Sinluma, nearby village, that there was an experimental sorcerer there, a wizard, a mage, generally powerful spellcaster named Sumner. I'll put his name in chat for you guys here. Sumner challenged Sageos, claiming that he was incompetent, that he didn't have the powers to challenge Sumner, and thought that he could wrest the few magical secrets that Sageos had from him. Sumner brought Sageos to Sinluma. In an effort to protect himself from the obviously more powerful Sageos, Sumner performed an incantation that he had learned from a dragon, an ancient one, powerful and knowledgeable. No one knows who the dragon was, but the incantation drew all the goodness and light from the village of Sinluma and formed it into a draconic form known as Arvig Longtail. Arvig fought Sageos and challenged him and drove him away. But not before Sageos had drawn the magical powers from Sumner, taking with him the knowledge of such a powerful spellcaster, and leaving the town of Sinluma destitute, with hundreds dead in the streets. We tried to send clerics to Sinluma to deal with the aftermath of the attack. But the shadows, without light, the shadows drove our clerics away. And so the undead crawl through the streets now, unfettered by death. Imkale's grasp does not touch Sinluma. And there's nothing we can do after the village was ravaged by Sageos.
Ravaged by Sageos or abandoned by Arvik?
Choose one or the other. There is a rumor that Arvig has been seen outside of the village recently, as in the last 2 weeks. I'm unsure if it's true, but with Arvig having taken the goodness from the village, if he now roams, who knows? Perhaps we could send a pilgrimage to Sinluma to see what may be done. Perhaps a new chapel could be built if light is truly returned to the place.
Why did Sumner want to take on Sageos in the first place?
Pride. He viewed Sageos as a font of magic, a source to become more powerful himself. You see, it's said that Sumner loved a woman and swore to her that he would protect her at all costs, even the cost of his own soul. And so sought power, knowing that Sageos may have the capacity to protect her with the wards that he knew. In the effort to drain Sageos, he caused a bigger problem. But there's rumor that the woman he loved still lives now, and that he fulfilled his promise. I'm not sure how true it is.
Well, I know somebody who is planning to fight Sageos next. It will be an epic story.
Indeed. Are you involved?
Well, I won't be left behind.
Then go with the blessings of our Father. And he will stand up, and he will give you a slight bow. May the threads of your mask tell the story of your life.
I will grab a hold of his little mask face and give him a kiss. And tell him that after I finish with Sageos, I might go take a look at Sinluma, if you don't beat me to it.
Very well. I will be here, for this is my place. So you will no doubt win the race.
Well, if you think that's the case, that must be.
He bows and will go back into the temple.
Thank you.
He nods over his shoulder at you.
That's backwards nodding.
You know, the type where he looks over his shoulder and nods. Yeah.
Sure.
I love how this temple keeps getting more ornate every time we come here.
It's because I keep dropping money in the buckets.
Is that what it is, or is it because someone has ADHD and loves drawing and I love it so much?
It could be both. That's
They have to
the
hire
offerings
artists.
pay for the.
Or que no los dos, right?
Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
Thanks. I appreciate that so much.
Perfect.
Advanced Transform Group. Got it. Thank you, sir. All right. So, Tati, are you going to go looking for the party?
Yeah, in like a roundabout way, I think I'll head out.
Okay.
Like I said, can't be left behind.
Awesome. So, Saphira, we return to you and Sison and Samara because Samara's still there. She's not the kind to ditch you guys after a night of exotic activities, we'll call them. Good morning.
On it already?
Indeed. You know, it's a shame that he's so chaste.
Keep trying to get him to spread his wings a little bit. I don't know if he has wings. I haven't seen him with wings. But
I'm right here in the room. I can hear all of this.
wait, have you been there the whole time?
Yeah, you guys said there were going to be assassins.
She looks at you. There are. You're in a room with two of them. Does that scare you? Or excite you?
Around.
Saphira looks around.
Yeah, not inspiring fear there. More vague disappointment.
Such a shame. So, Saphira, another wonderful night. What's the plan as she begins getting dressed? Sison, she's been walking around.
He has been strictly maintaining eye contact.
Uh-huh.
Staring her down.
Oh, I think we got a few days and a few things that we're gonna do. 'Cause, you see, we're not really the plan type. We're kind of the we just figure it out in the moments type. The fact that we've even got as much of a plan as we do now is honestly kind of very atypical for us.
I understand. I like it when people are spontaneous. Don't you, Sison?
No.
She shrugs. It's a shame. Spontaneity is the spice of life. Don't you agree, Saphira?
Absolutely. After all, if you already know how the day's gonna go, then where's the fun in playing it out?
Exactly.
Unpredictability. the wandering the path that you didn't even know you were gonna take, but find yourself down it anyway, and it turns out that leads right here.
Which path is that? The one where you get stabbed by an assassin? The one where you get trapped in a mirror? The one where you get turned into a blood avatar and killed?
Is he talking about you, Saphira?
That could be anybody.
Oh, I'm sure. roll your deception check, please, Saphira.
Yeah, I mean, she's not really putting her heart into
Oh, I
it,
understand that, but it is Saphira.
Could be anybody.
It could be anybody. Yeah, she looks at you. I'm sure it could be anybody. She winks at you. She knows you're full of it.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't been exciting. So,
Yeah, and that's what happens when you take the spontaneous path.
interesting. It's never happened to
Speaking of-
me. Well,
And you haven't been quite spontaneous enough, I say.
fair enough. So, am I coming with you?
Now, did you want to? I didn't know that.
I'm
I
feeling
guess I did know
spontaneous.
that,
Let's
yeah.
go. She grabs 2 scimitars, puts them into her belt, grabs Saison by one arm and Saphir by the other, and heads towards the door.
I'm just shooting Saphira. Look like, what the fuck?
Saphira is mirroring that look, but like just going along with it.
She walks out into the main area of the parlor, we'll call it, and she waves at the bartender. Jones, we'll be gone for a while. After all, my friends here were getting married. And she starts striding towards the door.
What?
Wait.
She smiles at the uncomfortable people. Are you guys going to let go of her arms?
I'm not holding on. I'm just kind of being dragged, but I'm not fighting it. I'm just confused.
All right. So she takes you guys out of the parlor and into town.
To spontaneously get married.
So you guys are walking down the docks after coming out of the alleyway, and you're headed towards one of the nearby parks that you recognize as being a temple area to the god Hana.
You know, maybe we should talk about the larger plan.
Oh, of course. What kind of house do you like?
The
2-story?
other-
One that's not haunted. But
Of course. Yes. Haunted houses are so exciting, though, aren't they?
It's just you kind of get stuck in one of those for a little while, and sometimes the ghosts get jealous,
Of course. Oh, look, here we are. So
Wait.
who do we get to kiss first?
At this point, Saison's gonna pull his arm out or away.
She smiles. So I get to kiss you first.
I think the two of you already had a head start. You should just keep going, by all means.
Well, actually, wait. I know. I said being spontaneous is great, but I ain't exactly the kind of gal that ties herself down that way.
So this is where the line is. I was wondering how far you'd go.
Yeah, look, I can be spontaneous too. I'm spontaneously deciding not to get married.
She looks at you and rolls her eyes. Well, I now know that the line for Saphira is about 40 feet from the altar. And for Saison, closer to 50. Well, it's nice to know where the boundaries lie. Don't you agree?
Interesting way to draw them, I guess. But I mean, did you ever consider that maybe for Saphira it would change based on who's standing at the altar? Why don't you go up there?
Gladly. And she goes walking up.
All right, Saphira, all yours. I'm gonna get behind her and give her a little joking push.
I'll dodge the push.
Damn it.
You could dodge the push. She smiles at you. It was a joke. Unless you're serious. This is your one chance to take her up on getting married, Saphira.
Um, Look, Samara, you're really nice to hang out with and spend time with and do things with, but uh, I really ain't the Marion type.
I understand. No harm felt, no harm taken. I'm not offended at all, Saphira. After all, I'm not the kind of girl that really likes being tied down outside.
Okay, now we're back on the same page then.
She smiles. So, you came to Nausha looking for assistance. I can't exactly leave at the moment. Not without a bit more commitment. But I can provide you with a couple of goods. What kind of supplies do you need? And she's going to start walking down the street. Are you guys going to follow her?
Follow her.
Yeah, I'll follow your lead.
I don't know about goods so much as, well, you've provided plenty of information already, but there is one specific thing I've still been wondering.
What's that?
But, but it's probably something that I shouldn't ask until we're very sure that no one else is listening, and I'm not the best at figuring out if anybody else is listening.
Oh, Saphira, what's there to be a secret? Go ahead and ask.
Should I go?
Oh no, you probably do need to know this too, Jason. Like this is business secret, not personal secret.
Oh, okay.
But Saphira will drop her voice and ask if we wanted to find Hiroshimori. How would we do that?
Really? Well, that's a difficult question. Why do you want to talk to the spider?
It's best if I tell you that it would be to make a mutually beneficial deal with her.
Well, I'm open to it, but they're all the way over in Shimahaba.
Eric glances at Saisen, mention of Shimahava.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Hey, we've been there.
Have you
We
been there
can
recently?
get there. Actually, yes.
How recently? Were you there when Vagradan attacked?
Akronan attacked?
Oh yes, Shimahaba is in ruins. The city is burning. It's
We saw-
quite a disaster.
I'm gonna say right before that was probably when we were there.
Hey, we saw the ruins of Sahua, but not. We didn't realize he made it to Shimahaba.
Oh, not only did he attack, he landed there and gathered fortunes, taking tribute from the temples and from the various organizations. The 12 Spiders paid hundreds of thousands of gold into its coffers that Vagradan consumed, gaining power and strength from the consumption of the gold and treasures.
Could do that?
Oh man, there's a really cool thing of armor there. I hope that's not gone.
Well, Mori still runs the 12 Spiders lair beneath the city.
And we didn't get everything there then, the first time.
No? Oh. Such a shame.
Oh, unless they had multiple layers there.
Did you clear out the lair completely?
I mean, I mean, by the time we left, it was completely cleared out. It's just that they might have been the ones doing the clearing out while we rested a little bit.
Well, no doubt that was due to Hiroshi being involved. It's her headquarters at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if she moves soon. I've seen many ships coming from Shimahaba going eastwards.
Like that all tracks. Wait, what were the designs on the ships?
Oh, they were low ships, fast ones. Small, carrying cargo. Nondescript, except for always having an arachnid name. Obviously, ships belonging to the 12 Spiders. They're not very subtle when they're wanting to flex their muscles.
Because there are two different sets of ships that we knew were kind of going east from that area, so good to know that that's the one. And I was expecting them to be doing that.
What did we Lasat? Okay. Anyway.
Focus
Continue.
on the RP, Eric.
All right. Focus on the RP, Eric. Understood. Seeing the chat go by him like, huh, okay. I'm being trolled by my own chat.
I think technically it's Tati being trolled.
Yes.
Well-
So, you don't need any goods for a dragon like that. And she points over her shoulder at a dragon who's currently casting spells, focusing on putting out a candle.
For that dragon, we wouldn't need supplies to take him down. For the dragon we are going to fight, I mean, we could definitely use some potions, and if you have anything you believe would be especially useful if we were going to attack a dragon with mad magical powers and huge amounts of magical and probably otherwise traps, we're all ears.
Well, after all, Saphiri is a friend. So, I suppose I could provide you with something. As long as it's going to be returned with interest. A loan, you might say. After all, I am a businesswoman, you understand.
Oh, I'm happy to leave you and Saphira alone next time.
No. Financial assistance, compensation in a monetary or influential way. While I do enjoy our times together, Saphira, I do have to be practical.
Yeah, of course, you don't want to mix business and pleasure. It never works out.
Yeah, it's worth a
I
shot.
disagree. It
I mean-
always works out for me. If it doesn't, well, I make it work out. After all, people can't oppose you if they're dead.
Or if they're breathing too hard.
True. Thank you, Tati. Yep.
That's-
Ah.
What you have
Wow.
in mind.
Well, you'll need to bring me something of magical power from Sageos's lair in Akeda. That wouldn't be too difficult, would it? A trinket or gift. Some compensation for the loan. That's acceptable to you, isn't it?
I think we can work something out. Do you
Out of
have
curiosity.
anything specific in mind, or what? What'd you say?
No, I'm not sure what's there.
Out of curiosity, what are you hoping to do with this trinket?
I'm unsure what you'll bring me. Surprise me, Thyson, after all. And she comes up near you and almost touches you, but doesn't. You like to be spontaneous, don't you?
You know me, Mr. Spontaneous.
She smiles. Well, Mr. Spontaneous, and she holds her hand out for a handshake. I'll give you a rod that will help you against Sageos in exchange for a present from his lair.
I can find that agreeable. I'll reach out and shake her hand.
Fine, come with me. And she walks down the street, and she sachets. And you can't keep eye contact from behind, Sison.
Nope, but the back of her head's looking so nice.
Understood. That swishing straight hair, yep.
I'm
Absolutely.
actually instead, I'm staring at Saphira's horns.
You're staring at Saphira's horns. Saphira, he's staring at your horns.
Scandalous.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said scandalous.
Scandalous, yes. Wow.
I can't do the Ashley's voice from Recess. So.
Scandalous!
Scandalous.
All right. So, gosh, I'm not even going to go there.
That's such a throwback for me. Anyone else remember this show?
that was the goat.
It was the goat.
We have different definitions, but very well.
One of many goats.
Yes. So, as you guys walk along, she will go up to a very familiar shop. And outside of the shop, there is a black throne with purple cushions currently being polished by a man with exceedingly dark skin and long white hair. She looks over at Sason. You might want to stay outside. The proprietor isn't such a fan of men.
Saphira, thoughts?
You should do what you feel comfortable with. But she's right, but I ain't expecting any danger. But also, you don't have to let her treat you like that. Her being the proprietor, not Samara.
I'm
Samara's
feeling
looking out here.
spontaneous. I think I'll come in.
There you go.
Samara looks a little intrigued by this. Your funeral. She walks in before you guys, and as you're about to walk in, you see a sign over the door, Sison. It says Black Diamond. The man near the throne, with your passive perception, looks at you and will put his hand out to try to stop you. You don't want to go in, sir.
Why shouldn't I go in there?
Mistress Oleodark doesn't like men, sir.
Well, a lot of people have to deal with people they don't like in this world. I'll be polite.
He nods and will go back to polishing the feet of that throne. As you walk in, this appears to be a jewelry shop. Around the place, there's a glass case and a horseshoe configuration that you walk into the center of. A woman comes out from behind the back door wearing a ornate dress, long silver hair trimmed in purple. Her dark skin reveals her to be a drow. She looks at you and then over at Saphira. Yes? Samara steps forward. Terrell, darling, excuse him. He's foreign. You understand? I understand. I need that thing that I borrowed that one time and wanted to borrow again, if you don't mind. I'm sure you're not using it, right? You remember from that one night? Terrell looks at Saphira, looks back at her. I'll get it. And she will go behind the back door once again. Not even 5 seconds. She didn't even let the door close. She leans back out, carrying a small box, about 14 inches long, 4 inches tall, 4 inches wide, long and slender. It's black. The gloss black wood box is placed on the counter. Here, Samara. I believe our business is finally even. Oh, Terrell, you're so nice. Thank you for being a good businesswoman and keeping it in care. Do tell Silas, if you ever see him again, that I said hello. She looks at her. You know that I don't deal with Fae. No, but he'd like to. She grabs the box and, like a Karen or cheerleader, boops Sison on the nose. Now come. We're leaving. Terrell looks at you all as you are leaving, rolls her eyes. Glad that's done with. Samara, as she walks out the door, I heard that. You follow?
Saphira will walk out the door and then pause and say, "Oh wait, 1 second. I'll be right back." And she'll go back inside for a moment.
Okay. Go back inside.
Could I buy a pearl from you?
Of course.
I just need one that's worth 100 gold pieces.
Those seem to be very popular lately. She will.
Hey, I can't quite identify the reason why.
She will open a safe and pull out a small velvet box, open it up, and inside there is a string of pearls, and she will cut one of the pearls off, put on the counter. 100 gold. Miss.
I'll put 100 gold down and give her a little flourish.
Thank you. And don't bring him back in here. I understood.
Kira pauses to consider it and then just says, I'll try to remember that. No guarantees.
Good day. Sison, you walking out?
Yeah, I'll leave.
Okay.
It's not the first time people haven't liked either guys or Faye, and I've been both in those situations, so it happens.
Well, now that we're out of there, we did have a deal. I'd give you something that would help you in your fight against Sageus. And in exchange, you're bringing me a gift, right?
Some sort of magical item that we find in there. Yep.
Of course. Doesn't matter what it is. I just prefer something to celebrate the defeat of such a horrible dragon.
Oh, I'm sure that's the only reason you could possibly want something.
Of course. Yeah. So, here you go, as per our deal. And she will hand you the box.
I'll open it and look inside.
You open it. Okay. She tries to stop you from looking inside, but if you persist, you can.
If she goes to stop me, I'll stop before
Okay.
opening it. There can be dangerous magic boxes.
Surprises supposed to be reserved for time of use with Sageos. I wouldn't want you to use it all before you got there, you understand?
Fair. Any chance I could have more details about when best it's opened or what I can expect when it is opened?
I would keep the box closed until you land on Akeda.
Interesting.
The wards and this rod probably won't get along very well. The lead in the box will keep you safe.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I'm sure I appreciate the help one way or the other. I guess we'll see exactly how useful it is in the moment, but I'll see what I can do about getting you some sort of trinket from the island itself and Scao's Horde. I have no doubt we'll run into plenty of things out there.
Okay. Roll a perception check, Tyson, as you have the box in your hand.
Yeah, I've seen things.
All right, with the 27, you'll recognize a small script near the opening where the box sides meet, and it has the words Rod of Absorption on there.
That's always handy.
So,
Well, that explains a lot for me, knowing what that is then.
yep. But I need you to roll 1d10 to determine how many spells Terrell had spent into it already.
Ooh.
All right, so it already has 4 levels of spell energy stored in it. Okay. So
Not
it can
bad.
absorb a total of 46 more.
Nice.
Wow, I didn't realize how good these things are.
Okay. All right. So, Sison, Saphira, she's going to walk you guys over near Ruzid and Oshin. Oshin, Ruzid, you see a woman dressed as such arriving to meet you. The jingles on her belt and dress, as we'll call it, jingle as she approaches, announcing her walk.
It's the rest of the party are, well, the 2 people with her are still with her, right? Or
Correct.
am I wrong?
Yep.
Okay.
Saphira and Sison are rejoining Oshin and Ruzid.
Looks like you got a +1. What's this all about?
Hey, Shane, who is it? This is Samara. She's quite lovely.
It's Saphira's wife.
It's very.
Wait, you got married? What?
Of course we
Was
did,
Sison
and
your
she's
best
gonna
man?
kiss this cheek of Saphira.
Beyonce. Come on.
Why
Saphira
was only
will
Sison
decide to
invited?
play along just a little bit too late to be believable.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you just immediately get married. Well, actually, kind of does seem like you immediately get married. I don't know.
Trust me, she was feeling spontaneous. It really just happened so fast.
Exactly.
She's
I
the
mean,
type that
who
would
hasn't done
accidentally
something
get married.
permanent? You know, if I had a copper piece for every time I did accidentally almost get married.
Probably be more wealthy than all of us combined.
Yeah, you used to think your bounty was big.
You'd lose it all pretty quickly, I reckon. That many marriages.
Alimony's a thing, guys.
Because
Thank you.
and pay and,
I'm
and
glad
paying
that
for
registered.
each of the receptions to be done right. I mean, that adds up.
So is she coming with us, or
No, I'm not one who really enjoys danger for the sake of danger's sake, or certain death for the sake of dying.
I don't know? Sounds pretty exciting to me.
All right.
See, that's why I go out on the adventures. Come back to tell you all about them.
Ruzid, you've been granted inspiration by the Twitch chat.
Yay!
Being adventurous.
I'm so adventurous.
I bet Ruzid
Um,
almost got married a couple times by accident.
It just happens. So, I think we're probably getting ready to teleport back to the ship once Coin finishes getting his big ass tattoo.
That's where Tati walks up after having meandered through the town.
Sure.
You remember
I'm
Samara.
back with an armload of toy pieces.
Toy pieces. How much did you spend on toy pieces?
How much does it cost to carry all the toy pieces I can carry?
You want to? How much do you want to spend? 10 gold to buy a whole bunch of gears and sprockets?
Gears and sprockets, and like some
Fabric
you call?
pieces, of course.
I gotta make Ruzid look cool. I gotta
better be
I gotta
high
like show off
quality.
his scales.
Oh, so
What
some
about the music?
sequins?
I need a good receptacle to hold the magic stone that doesn't exist yet.
Wait,
Okay.
are you gonna like decorate me? Am I getting a cape?
No, your toy, Ruzid. You're all right. I'll show you my latest idea later.
I
But
was
it's
making some prototypes too when I was practicing casting spells. I was
you
making
have
some
some
illusions.
spell casting. Ruzid would be. I don't have a spell casting Ruzid yet.
Yeah, I cast spells with my mouth because you know, the tooth is in my mouth that casts the spells. It's kind of cool. It's like breathing acid everywhere. Well, poison. It's like breathing poison everywhere, except instead of poison coming out, like magic comes out. Kind of a weird sensation.
Magic
Breathing
breath
magic.
is the best dragon breath. What are you guys working on? You guys been just sitting around this whole time? That's all right. Let's Oh wait, who's this?
Still staring at those horns, I guess.
Hi, I'm Samara.
Oh, Samara, I remember you. I'm Tati. Hi.
Hello. It was a pleasant time last time. It's a shame you didn't join us last night. Sophia and I had good fun.
And I
Anyone
was
get
there.
attacked? Oh, that kind of situation. Well, I mean, if you're into it, Tyson, that's okay.
Well, no.
Hey, I believe in not judging people's kinks as long as everybody's safe and healthy, or not, but willing.
Well, the good news is we were safe because once again there were no assassins.
Well, that's what Tyson's always good for, keeping everybody safe from assassins.
I mean,
Yeah, I appreciate
there
that,
were
Tati.
two
Thank
of
you.
them.
What was that?
There were two of them, but I didn't see where they were. They must have been really well hidden.
Samara
Yeah, I
looks very well hidden. Well,
They didn't get us, so that's really the important part.
she smiles. You never know who gets gotten, Saphira. Well, you'll have to excuse me. You understand. Busy girl. Have a wonderful time, Saphira. After all, it's always a pleasure to have you. Tati, next time you're in town, don't be a stranger, please. And
Come by the
Sison,
temple next time.
she smiles. They don't really appreciate me there.
Everyone appreciates a good story.
Well, next time you're in town, bring Sison, and I'll be sure to help you make a new one.
Deal.
I'm busy that day.
Deal anyway.
Well, if not Sison, then you can bring this glorious animal with you. And she points at Oshin.
Oh my goodness, isn't he just?
He looks
so
like just the
handsome.
perfect person to cuddle with.
Can vouch.
God damn it. If you didn't have inspiration.
I already have inspiration.
Damn it. Who did the cow?
Not it.
Uh,
I put that on my soundboard for situations like
Thanks.
this.
Thank you, Oshin.
That was just a great impression.
So
Yeah.
amazing.
I was willing to believe it.
Oh, damn. All right. So, as you guys are having Samara leave you, we pan the camera over to Sea Toad Coin. Mr.
He's just
Coin.
snoring.
Just snoring?
Just snoring super loud in this chair.
He's conscious but snoring.
Yeah.
I think that's like, I don't think that word means what you think it means.
No, it means what I think it means.
Conscious but snoring.
Rude's
Meaning-
trying to give a hint here.
Oh, okay. So, Coin, you have a blanket resting on you as you wake up. There's a glass of water off to the side.
Oh, thank God. Coin grabs it and just splashes it over his head.
Samara, Akatea looks at you. So, the tattoo's finished. I went ahead and gave you a bit of lotion to make sure that it didn't chafe or get sore. You seem to pass out about a third of the way in. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, it's a productivity thing. You know, I was so antsy sitting still, I decided to go, organize the files in my brain.
Must
It's all
be very
organized in
organized.
I sorted my childhood memories from my adolescent ones. I think I lost a few though, but it's all right.
Hmm. Well, as soon as I'm paid, you're free to go.
Thank you very kindly. Corin's gonna look down on it. I'm gonna assume he has that moon tattoo. It's gonna have like
Yes.
a silver kind of lining, sort of an eclipse kind of vibe
Indeed.
to it.
And that is the Summon Draconic Spirit spell tattoo.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm gonna take that 35-pound cake and I'll be on my way.
Of course.
He will
Have
put
a
it in the bag.
wonderful time, Sea Toad Coin. And here, for the road, take a cookie.
Oh, perfect. Coin's gonna grab it. Is it lemon?
This is a lemon bar, the kind
Let's
with the
go.
powdered sugar on top and the cookie crust on the bottom.
Goated. I'm gonna add the 35-pound pound cake to the bag of colding
The fruitcake. Gotcha.
fruit cake. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, have a wonderful day, and don't be a stranger. I do so love tattooing you.
It's enough to give me a discount.
No.
Ah, fair enough. He waves and walks out.
All right. Coin, as you're
You-
walking out,
Yeah,
you look around. Can I get a perception check, sir?
you can.
The 19, you look around. It's a nice day. Feels good. Nice cool breeze. Cheerful crowd. Not a care in the world.
Nothing ominous.
Nothing ominous at all.
Coin cracks the cookie in half and throws half in his mouth.
Plop.
Continues walking back to where the party would be.
It's just the right amount of toothsome on that cookie. Too bad you don't have teeth.
Do you mean that like this is a new update, or is this like a grung thing I wasn't aware of?
Grung only have teeth as on the roof of their mouths. They don't actually have like teeth. They're frog people.
I thought they had like sharp teeth, like sort of like.
Do they?
I was under the impression.
Okay,
Uh,
we can do that.
it's your world. I'm not gonna like debate.
I'm fine with that. You're the one playing it.
species.
You're the only person playing a grung right now. I'm cool with us setting lore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm operating off of what I read,
Okay.
which was that they have sharp teeth for like tearing flesh and stuff because
Very well.
they survive off of a lot of like meat.
Then we will use that. They have very sharp teeth.
It'd be very awkward because Coin has visible teeth in his art for the last 2 years. But yeah, he eats the cookie and he continues on his way walking back. I would guess the docks or
Okay.
outside the consortium, wherever the
Sure.
party is.
Cool. You can find the rest of your party gathered together. In front of Ruzid, there's a candle currently lit.
Ruzi
Point.
makes an outlet.
It is no longer lit.
And he lights it again.
You know, it's 4
Hey.
o'clock. We don't really need a candle to see.
I'm practicing. I'm practicing.
Your eyesight?
No, my spell casting.
Oh. Good work, I guess.
Just been trying to like relax and just focus on the magic, so that when I need it, I won't fuck up.
How's that tooth coming in? Feels right?
Fine.
Make sure
Not,
to
like, the greatest, but like I'll get used to it, and then
Make
it'll,
sure to
it'll just fade away.
spit shine that thing twice a day. Which shouldn't be too hard, now that I think about it.
I mean, if I breathed acid, it'd always stay really clean. But I breathe poison.
How durable is this gold?
I mean, it's gold. I mean, it depends on the type of acid, I guess.
It's also a magic item.
Oh yeah. Also, it's magic. Yeah. What Toddy say?
Fair enough. Hey, what say Oshin practices his magic and poof us back?
Oh yeah, we were gonna do that probably.
Unless anyone has business.
I don't have anything else here.
Yeah, I wonder what Bryn's been up to.
Oh,
all
we
this
forgot to
time.
get a shop for coin.
No, I got a shop.
No, we
I
were
just-
gonna get you a different shop with gloves in it.
What? What's wrong with my gloves?
No, we just. Never mind. It was a surprise. That didn't happen.
Okay.
Well,
Actually, this reminds me. I mentioned like getting a cape or something earlier, but what would be kind of cool would be like some bangles or something. That probably look pretty good on me. But I mean, we can go shopping for that later.
Are you thinking like around the ankles or around the neck, biceps?
Why not both? Why not all? Why not all those things?
Buddy, you're gonna need a circus tent if you want any kind of a cape.
A cape probably will just get in the way when I'm trying to kill people.
You know what
Give me
Edna
some-
Bowl says, right? No capes.
No capes. Maybe like a magic one, it folds itself up. Keeps shape.
No capes.
I mean, I kind of already have that, but I mean, not dragon size, just kobold
Mm.
size.
Dragon-sized bangles sound like barrel rings.
Maybe. To me, they just sound cool.
Oh, I know where we can get some.
The thing is, right? I'd have to put them back on every time I transform, which would be kind of annoying, but you got to sacrifice some things to get the style points. I'm sure you're familiar with this, right, Coin?
Oh yeah. Sacrifices must be made. But you're pulling it off really well. What you got going here? Which I guess is mostly just the gold tooth and the
I don't
writing
have
gear.
anything going right now. Yeah, I guess I got that.
But
It's
overall,
technically an accessory.
a great look.
well, if we're ready to return back, and I'll send that through.
Okay.
We huddle up.
Awesome. So we're going to cast teleport. Awesome. And so, as a party, you guys hear the bellow of a cow as you guys appear on the flight risk.
Oh yeah. Coin pulls out the bag of colding, takes a 35-pound fruitcake out, and sort of hoists it up in front of Ruzid.
Hell yes!
Good news. I have no idea how it tastes.
Definitely gonna take a big bite.
You take a big bite of the fruitcake, Ruzin, is what you said?
Yep.
Awesome. Ruzin, you are silenced for the next 10 minutes.
You hear Ruzid like start you see Ruzid mouthing out a bunch of words, and then he starts to realize that the words aren't like making any sound, and he just
Oh no,
looks
Coin.
really annoyed.
It left him
You just hear him-
speechless.
You just see
No,
him
Why not mute myself?
his new tooth is gonna fall right out from that stuff.
It can't be that bad for you.
No, it's
guess I
so sticky. Look at it.
Coin looks at it.
Ruzin, it's all
food.
stuck in your jaw.
This is like anti-scurvy medicine. He'll be fine.
You got him medicine for cake? What's wrong with you?
Like the greatest inventions were made out of necessity. It doesn't mean they sounded glamorous.
Ruzid's giving Coin a death stare right now.
Another point for spontaneity, right?
You can have the rest of this, Ruzit. I don't want any.
Ruzid
Bryn,
shakes
we're
his head.
back.
You
Bryn is
guys,
probably below decks.
okay.
Eric, how audible is the teleport when it arrives? Would Bryn be able to hear it from downstairs, or probably not?
Ruzid and
because-
Coin are a part of it, so I think you can hear
You
it
can
from
hear
like
them.
3 miles away.
Good
Hear
point.
it thump.
Not only that, but the ship rocks to the side because there's a dragon on the ship now.
That is also fair. Bryn probably puts 2 and 2 together, and closes his book and puts them away in his pack, and comes back upstairs
Okay,
to join the rest of the team.
cool.
Did you make us lunch?
No, I didn't know you'd be coming back.
Hello.
Of course we're coming back.
God damn.
Well, you were
Did you
supposed to
make
come
this
back
lunch?
last night and then didn't. And I was up all night worried sick about you guys. Well, mainly Saphira and Sazin, but by
Not
extension,
worried
the
enough
rest of
to
you.
make lunch, apparently. Coin says like a dick.
Look, I've got stuff that I've been working on. If you guys want food, there's plenty of food. I'll make dinner tonight, but you guys didn't tell me you'd be back in time for lunch.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
What
fair.
have you
Thanks,
been
Bryn.
working on?
We forgive you, Bryn.
You,
Well, let's not go that far.
you guys are such assholes. So, team huddle. What did we learn?
Tattoos hurt.
Of tattoos. Okay, all right, that's a good start.
Ruzid is like still trying to speak, and he's now at this point he's like frantically gesturing at his mouth and pointing at the golden tooth.
Reason, you gotta. Did you have a root canal?
Dude, chew with your mouth shut, Ruzid.
Ruzid spits at you.
Is he gonna be okay?
Oh yeah, his gums are inflamed from the magic tooth that he got.
Magic tooth. Well, I hope he got it because he wanted to, and not against his will.
Oh yeah, I mean he got
sure
socked in the jaw and lost one, but he
Got
seemed on
punched
board.
out with one punch. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know.
And then it got punched
like
in
a-
with one punch too.
Speaking of, we learned a lot about Tegeos, recruited a couple people. Coin will pull out paper. He's lined out a lot of the information we've already learned, the names of people he's recruited, which is the silent monk. I feel like there was someone else, but I can't totally remember. But he will give Bryn all the information that we had learned on shore.
Excellent. Thank you. I also have been doing a little bit of research, and in summary, I'm not sure I've learned anything that will directly help us in fighting him, but I think I can paint a slightly better picture of who he is as a person after going through some of the books that he kept. in the Grand Library. It seems that Sigeos is interested in transcending what it means to be mortal. He's done research into pacts with eldritch beings, elemental evil beings. He's looked into moving beyond this plane, and not just into like the Feywild, but into some of the outer planes. And it sounds like he's interested in becoming more than a person, which is something we probably could have guessed about him based on his transformation into a dragon. But it seems that that's not the limit of his ambition. He wants to go further, and he's from this we can surmise that his drug operations seem to be the means to an end, basically gathering as much money and power as possible in order to support his ambitions.
Wait,
of
is this? Do you know if it's?
transcending-
Do you know if it's like an immortality thing or like an influence thing?
I think the influence is a stepping stone on the path to immortality. I think he wants to become something greater than a god, something immortal, timeless, omnipotent, basically as much power as it's possible to have without sacrificing himself and who he is. I've come across some of the things that I found seem to be the limits of what he's willing to do. I found one book in particular details rituals and incantations so horrible that Sigeos himself seems unwilling to use them. But
Oh, that's reassuring. The big bad has a moral line in the sand.
I don't think it's a moral line in the sand. I think he wants to keep his own identity, and I think he's worried about. I hesitate to use
He
the
won't
word
sacrifice?
soul, because some people are willing to sacrifice their soul, and he's willing to make sacrifices. He just wants to make sure that at the end of the day, the sacrifice is less than what he's getting. If he goes to some outer plane and is immediately consumed by some ancient eldritch horror, I mean, that kind of really doesn't do anything for him. So I think I'm theorizing that everything he's done, all of the magic that he sought, all of the riches and influence, this is sort of his end game, is he wants to become a god or
So what you're
something greater than a god.
So what you're saying is his line is that he wants to maintain 51% equity stake in his own soul. Like he doesn't want
That's
that.
a very good way of putting it, I think.
That's
I think
good
it's-
because that's the
yeah.
only way that I can conceptualize anything you just said.
Do we know though? Is it just power for power's sake, or is there some reason he's trying to get all of this power? Does he have some sort of larger goal, or is it just to get better and stronger every single time?
Oh, thank
That's
God,
a
I can
very
speak
good
again.
question.
So,
Oh, here, Ruza, do you want another bite?
no. Well, I think that it's kind of appealing to become an omnipotent dragon god that oversees everything. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
All right, gonna keep tabs on that one. Continue.
I mean, Ruzic's right. It's possible he has some specific objective in mind, but ultimately, I think he seeks power for power's sake, and based on the way that he's going about that goal, it's difficult to see that being a good thing.
That's fascinating, but I'm not entirely sure how we can utilize that. How can that be
I'm
used
not
against?
either, but maybe it will tell us if we learn more. Giving some insight into his motivations and methods might tell us a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm curious. There's one thing. So I haven't finished going through the various books yet, but one thing that I haven't found is it seems that some of the more common, I hesitate to use the word common, but some of the more common paths to immortality undertaken by mortals involves trying to become a lich, where you give up
Oh, yeah.
the connection between your body and your soul in order to reach immortality. And this makes me wonder if he's tried this or looked into it. I think I need to go back to the library at some point. I have some more books to read, but once I'm finished, I think it might be worth trying to go back to the library and doing another search with a little bit more information on what we're looking for. But if he has some kind of phylactery, if he's already attempted to go beyond the bounds of mortality by separating his soul from his body, I wonder if that might be some kind of weak point that we could attack.
Yeah, I mean, that comes down to whether he'd, because we don't know if he's a lich. What is at stake by making yourself a lich? I guess hypothetically, if someone can take your phylactery, then you're sort of beholden to them. I
Yeah,
don't know if he would
but
want to
it's-
risk
Risk you
that.
take.
The upside is that you can't die because your soul is outside of your body and you care for it by feeding
Yeah.
it other souls. I feel like if he was a lich, we would have heard about it by now. Is the one thing is because we've heard so much about the stories about how he transformed himself into a dragon and sought power that way. I feel like if he attempted to become a lich, that we would have heard something about it.
Well, I feel like if you're a human and you turn into a dragon, you've already extended your life so much that you're probably not that concerned about becoming a lich for quite a long time. I mean, Sageos didn't turn into a dragon like 10 billion years ago. He only turned into a dragon, what, like a few hundred years ago? So he's still got a lot of life in him.
That's true, and mages are also able to extend their lifespan just through magic. And so I think it's safe to say that Sageos, if left alone, would probably live for quite some time, even if he didn't learn a secret to immortality. But I think we're still going to try and kill him, and I think that's the kind of thing he's looking to transcend, is not only mortality from natural causes but also unnatural causes.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if we know his desires, we maybe could find some way to trick him or make him think that something would be beneficial to him when it isn't. Be hard to do though, because he seems
You're
like a
right.
really smart guy.
Yeah, I had a similar thought, but it's not something we'd be able to do on this timeline. That would be a much more, because we're planning on our next rendezvous is within a week, at which point we're rapidly approaching striking distance. And I think that's the kind of plan that might take years, involving the subtle planting of a book in a library, or yeah, no, it's definitely an avenue we could pursue, but I don't think it's something we could do. I don't think it would help us kill him in less than 2 weeks.
This is good to, if nothing else, know how he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
It might
It's
end up
definitely
useful later.
we're making steps. I don't think we're ready to confront him, but fortunately we have more time. I think we're going to continue to have to investigate and learn more about his strengths and weaknesses. But in particular, if he has some kind of phylactery or phylactery equivalent, I think that could be a turning point for us.
I didn't know he had books, so he just had books like stashed at the library?
So that's the impression I'm getting, is that these were actually his. I mean, the dragon orb was at the library. Did the library belong to him? Was it his library? I mean,
Oh.
Coin, you met Pitney Bones through a secret passageway in the library, and
Yeah, I'm still a little confused about that, but
I thought we were told it's Amy Rosie's library, or I guess it used to be, but she was gone for a while, so maybe Sigeos was kind of taking it over in her absence. His absence.
If Sageos views himself as a god, he's probably extremely vain and possibly could underestimate us.
Yeah, what else? Is new?
I got the impression that he might be a bit more humble than that. Based on the books that I found and the things that he hasn't done, I think he recognizes the limits of his power, and he's a very cautious individual indeed. And I think we would be wise to equally not underestimate him. And I think that he knows we're coming, and he's capable of doing a thorough and accurate analysis of the threat we pose to him.
He must have
first time
some
we
sort of
encountered
end game.
I think that the best we can do is make sure he never lives to realize it, even if we can't figure out exactly what it is. If Sigeos becomes a god or something beyond a god, I don't see that being good for anybody except Sigeos, based on his willingness to throw mortal lives away by distributing deadly drugs for profit. I think we're definitely doing the right thing by trying to kill him. I just think we're not ready yet, and we need to make the most of the time we have until the invasion.
I got that right. Well, then the next order of business is figuring out how we're actually going to get our fleets from the ships to the actual shoreline. Since
Well-
apparently that's not an option.
Before we jump into that, I did want to mention Saphir and I got some information as well. And I want to share all the stuff we learned about the spiders, which would take a hot minute to do.
Very good. Please
by
go
all
ahead.
means.
I was basically just going to say all the stuff we heard, mostly in terms of Hiroshi Mori being the head of the spiders, and the fact that all the spiders kind of backed by Sigeos, or at least have some sort of deal going on. So I don't know how much you guys remember of that, or if I need to try and piece
That's
it all
all the
together.
way over in Shimahaba, though. Like, I mean, we could teleport there, but that would be pretty risky, no?
Well, it seems like at least Mori is there, Hiroshi is there, but some of the other spiders might be on the island. We might need to be ready for them. And on the other hand, also, if we take out the head spider, we might be able to get information on who the rest of them are, or what to expect from them. Again, not saying it's the best use of our time, but something we can consider doing, since any information is good information, and the connection's a connection.
I thought the spiders were the type to die before they give any answers.
Yeah, maybe, but there's also magic for that.
That might be the case for the little ones, but I think the big ones might be a little bit more interested in holding on to life.
Maybe. I guess you could always compel them, like Sison said.
He does a little bit of necromancy.
Oh,
I
not
think-
necessarily necromancy, but I mean, could also
I
just
can-
compel them to speak through other means.
I mean,
Saphira, I can just cast spells to make them tell the truth. You know that, right?
oh, I thought we were talking about killing them and then interrogating the corpses.
We could just knock them out and then talk to them.
Also, don't their corpses also have
I mean, I guess that works too.
no obligation to speak?
I don't
I don't
normally
know anything
ask
about
corpses
the
questions.
necromancy,
No idea.
but I was thinking. I mean, there's 3 ways we go about this. The first, either we just ignore it and just decide, okay, we're gonna have to deal with them at the island and nothing we can do about it. The second, we go and fight them and try to in Shimahaba and try to make them have to pull out of the operation. Which, we only have a few days, so if we get bogged down there, then that could really interfere with our plans here. But on the other hand, could make things a little bit easier here. The third is if we go over there and try to cut some sort of deal with them, right, and convince them stay out of it.
I mean, do we have anything that we could offer them? Also, I don't love the idea of making deals with people who we all know are causing severe harm across the globe, as some people would say.
To answer your question, I have no idea what we could offer them. I didn't think that far ahead. Just, getting to 3 scenarios was a lot, okay?
Who is this in regard to?
Oh, the 12 spiders.
I don't know if that's like. We don't even really know where to begin contacting them in such a way they don't, try to kill us.
We do. We just go back to. We were there not very long ago. We just go back to Shimahaba, tell them that we seek an audience with Mari.
And what's the end goal with this?
To try to convince them not to interfere with us when we go to Akeda. But again, I'm not really sure what we have to offer them to get them to do that.
I agree. I don't think their association with Sageos is extremely profitable. I don't think we could offer them anything that Sageos couldn't offer.
Yeah, I'm not against the idea, but we would have to put up so much to even make it worth their while, ignoring all of the risk involved with whether they'd even want to help us. And then we're already beholden to a lot of people as it is. Adding another could prove detrimental.
I agree, and I don't even think it's possible. I think the only reason we should make contact with any of the spiders before the Sageos fight is to kill them.
Ditto.
That being said, I do think it might be a good tactic if we're not sure what else to do. I think attacking the spiders and cutting off not the head of the snake, but maybe some of the limbs.
Well, where my concern is right now, Bryn, you'd probably be a good person to ask this. Do you have a spell of create thingy?
Can you be more specific?
Like, well, I guess a dinghy wouldn't even really work. Some sort of spell.
Oh, did you say create dinghy? I thought you said create thingy, and I was very confused.
With a
I
D.
heard the same thing.
No, to clarify, I meant a way of putting all of the world eaters into a small vessel that could navigate between the rocks, which would prevent a larger vessel from getting near shore.
Surely the world eaters just have this themselves, right? Wouldn't they have little dinghies attached to their ship?
They might, but I'm just trying to plan for contingencies here.
It's a good thought, but it might be. I think Oshin might be a better person to ask because we might be able to do that with a demiplane spell. We would only have an hour, but we could pack a bunch of fighters in the demiplane and put the door to the demiplane in a small boat. But that's the best I could come up with.
But we might not be able to open that, right? On the actual island.
Yeah, that might be considered a teleport. Maybe
That's a good point. It's not a teleport. The door is a gateway. Yeah, I wouldn't. I agree. It's a good point, and I wouldn't want to take the risk because it might just not work, and then we're kind of screwed.
we could teleport over to the world eater's ship and just ask a few questions. It's earlier than the meeting point, but we have 5 days, so can't really afford to wait. Because it's either dinghy boats, or we find a way to get them all to walk on water, or we hope they're good swimmers. And with his armor, I'm not going to put a lot of stock on that one.
Well, how long's the swim?
Good question.
Do you think
Eric,
that we're
could Coin
getting
estimate that?
Get an estimate of how far to swim to an
Well,
island
really,
you
the
don't know of?
Well, the distance of if we know how big the like where the terrain becomes too tough for a ship to travel,
Right?
how far would like
That depends on the coastline, and you've never been to Akata.
that's true.
Because,
Can he
like, for example, if you go to Catalina Island off the coast of California, you can drive a boat all the way up to like 10 feet away from from dry land. However,
Yeah.
if you go to Miami, you're going to have problems.
That's true. I was thinking more he's traveled to a lot of shores. Not this one
Right.
specifically, but he would have a general idea, I think, of how rocks tend to form on shores. And if the issue here is that there's a bunch of stone landmines, essentially, like, has he ever been to a shore where those go out for 2 miles, or have they always
Oh, no,
been?
not 2 miles, but, you know, couple 100 feet, half mile, maybe a mile tops.
Gotcha.
Any further than that, and the waves would have broken them apart over the years.
But enough to say a pretty rough swim with full
Right.
armor, no less.
Oh, absolutely. Would be deadly with full armor.
Yeah.
Do we, Eric? I don't
Yes, sir.
remember if it was told from where we would have to get off the boat to where we would be like on the I guess docking. Is it like guarded, or is that just like still outside of his like little area?
I don't think you know that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. I was gonna say, like, we have enough carpets or things that like we could just do a bunch of trips, but I don't want to drop like one person off and scales just be waiting at the shoreline.
That's up to you guys to figure out.
That's another thing we don't have is detailed knowledge of the island. I wonder if we could find someone who's been there before.
Well, my vote is we teleport over to Narzal, ask a few questions. Maybe he has his own contingency. If not, maybe we start buying some pool floaties.
Pool floaties.
Really big ones. Just we got some tree trunk arms over there. I'm serious. Like, we have 55 fleets of ships, and we assume most of them cannot dock. This is going to be like a logistical nightmare if we just roll up and don't plan for it.
Can we?
That is, yeah. Go ahead.
Could ask the world eater if they actually have dinghies.
Yeah,
How many?
How quickly can you get another teleport fired up?
I have one now, but I wouldn't be able to get us back until
Just send
I
him a message.
recharge. The other thing, that
Brink,
we
can you
could
send him
do-
a message? Just say, "Where's your dinghy?"
I don't think. I think this is the kind of thing that might need more than 25 words.
Well, word it
talk
however
about.
you want. Just make sure he gets the message.
Do we have an estimate on the number of people that we're trying to get over there? Like, I know that we know the
I'm
number of
rolling an
ships.
insight check on.
I don't think we
Right.
as players asked, but it
You did
probably
not.
would have.
Oh man,
You could probably figure out how many they have per ship.
A lot.
Okay,
A whole lot, I reckon.
I just didn't know if a lot was going to be like 100 or like 100,000. But
Not 100,000,
Not
but
100,000,
far
it's
more than
50.
100.
Like 50 ships,
Yeah.
and I would guess it's between 5 and 15 per ship. If we're very conservative about that estimate, maybe more like 7 to 8. Like if we assume each ship is about the same as ours, minus the crew. So let me do the exact numbers. Let's say 50. It's 55 ships, right? We know that number.
Yes, correct.
55 times 7, 385. Is 400 like a safe estimate without having asked Eric?
Yeah, that's a good estimate.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be 8 landing crew per ship.
Yeah.
So,
So about that many. It would be Coin's guess.
so one option, it would cost a lot of gold, but we could just distribute a bunch of potions of reduce and then have everybody climb on Ruzid and time it so that they wear off when we get there.
Really funny.
Wait, if we're getting me into the plan, like, why don't you just wish me to be big enough that I just pick up the ships?
You're
So
going
where
to
are we
be
gonna put them? They're just gonna break.
be bigger than the island itself at that point.
What, the ships are not the size of an island.
55 ships, Rosie? Do you know how big you're gonna have to be to carry? You have two
No, not all
hands!
55 ships. It would be one at a time. So it wouldn't be like world-ending size. It'd just be like abnormally large dragon size.
You don't think that's gonna set off a couple of alarms over at Segeos' base?
Wouldn't the alarms have been set off by the fact that there's 55 ships at their door?
I guess, but the dragon picking them up and putting them down like rubber duckies, it feels like a very intricate plan.
Okay, I was only like half serious. It would look
Also-
very cool though.
Also, we can't really escape then. You're gonna have to do it again while we're leaving.
Maybe it's a one-way trip.
That's why I said we just reduce them all and then have us all explode to normal size when we get there.
Alternate plan. Well, actually, we can't do that because we can't teleport. God damn it.
Ruzit had fleas once, so we might as well give him it again, but with people. But he wants to reduce them to tiny and put them all on you. That's basically giving you a bunch of fleas again.
I don't want fleas.
It's not a bad plan, but can Coin do a legitimate estimate? I feel like he'd know this. If we assume a potion of reduce, 400 potions of reduce, what's the price point on that?
Price point on potions of reduce.
A lot.
I would not think it's cheap.
No, it's not going to be cheap.
It's cheaper than an enlarge reduce potion, maybe, but only by half.
So let's do the math here. Calculator, because Eric's lazy. 400
Cheap, but
times
like
270.
12
You're looking at 108,000 gold.
Oh,
That's a lot of gold.
hey,
Any
I know the wish spell. We can do this.
wish for
Oh,
It
hang on, are
specifically
we-
says I
Why not just
can
wish
make
for everybody
gold.
to be on the island?
Let's
We have
just
5
ask
That's what I
days?
thought. That's what I was gonna say, but then
Landing craft.
the teleporting doesn't work, so we can't do that unless the wish isn't really teleporting. It's just like they are there. I
That's
don't know.
more
I
of
don't know
like
how
a
wishes work.
reality shaping. I don't know if that counts as
I
teleportation.
mean, either way,
I
this
think
sort of wish would
carrying a
be.
fleet would be cooler.
I agree.
Bryn,
No,
you've
hey,
been granted
no-
inspiration.
No
thank you.
disagreement there.
But I mean, also, if I could just carry, I was big enough to carry a fleet, doesn't it also mean I'm big enough to like whack my tail into Zageos' castle and it just all falls over? Like,
I have
don't-
inspiration already. Would anybody else in the group like some?
I cannot
I'll-
accept.
I'll take
I don't
that.
know. I just think
Yeah.
a wish like that's probably going to end with me exploding or something terrible.
I heard Oshin say
Yes.
Yeah, Oshin, you can have inspiration.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Bryn passed you his and then regained it from the chat. Awesome.
I don't know, Toddy. You're like the most religious out of all us. What do you think the odds are that if we wish something like that, I just explode?
I wouldn't wish for you to explode.
I didn't
probably.
I didn't say that. I said if we wish for you to be big enough to like carry the ships. I think what would happen is I just explode or something terrible because wishes always go wrong.
I think it'll make you big
Well,
enough to
I
carry
think
2
intention
ships.
matters.
Wait, what? Wait, what was said?
What did Tati respond?
Yeah, what did
But
Tati say?
I when it comes to the wish spell, I'm sure intention matters, but even if you did get so big that you exploded, if you got to carry the fleet before that, I mean that's really really cool though.
Yeah, but then I'd be dead.
Well, I mean, we'd still get to hang out though.
Come on, death is an inconvenience to this party.
If I'm
Let's
like
be
a
honest.
billion pieces, I don't know how you revive that. I mean, I guess you could do another wish.
No, I would never revive you, Ruzid. I would
Oh,
never do
thanks
that.
for being so reassuring.
Well, what if we did the life insurance right before all of this went down?
This sounds like a really expensive plan.
It is, but since we're fielding hypotheticals,
I guess. I mean, so you wish for me to do that to like pick up the ship, right? That costs like 25,000 gold off the rip and might
Alright,
not work.
Keep in mind, if we have somebody do an insane wish, then if you use wish to do anything other than cast another spell, you are like exhausted completely for like 10 days. So I don't think a successful invasion plan is going to involve casting wish during the invasion.
I also don't think you're accounting for like how deep the ocean is. Like even if you're big enough to carry 10 ships, we'll say, you still might not even touch the bottom of the
I can
ocean.
fly, Coin.
You know what? That's a good point.
Can you turn the ocean into ice? And then we can
Now that
all
sounds like a wish
get
that is
out and walk
guaranteed to
across.
fail.
I like this. I like this
That's not a
direction.
wish. I'm asking if there's a strategy we can use. That's
Wait.
not just a wish.
Actually, unironically, if like, someone's just spamming Cone of Cold, they could kind of make a path.
Maybe. It's seawater though. That's kind of hard to freeze.
What would it take to Baba Booey all of our fighters?
Well, we
He
can't.
said no teleporting. No teleporting. The stupid ward stops us from
God,
teleporting.
that's right. I always forget that Baba Booey is teleporting because no one
We-
says teleporting when you do
We don't
it.
refer to it as such.
Flight then. What would it take to make all of our fighters capable of flight?
I don't think we have enough mages
Can't
in
do
the
that.
world to make 400 people fly at the same time. We would need, well, that's assuming
Well,
we
I
just
mean,
use regular
most
flight
of
spells.
them are adventurers and pirates. Expect them to bring their own skill sets.
Valid.
We could ask the world breakers how many spellcasters they got. I think the answer is probably 0.
They don't seem like the type.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than the off chance that there's a hidden path that Segeos created just so, he could get imports. Hypothetically, there might be a super specific entry point that we could access, but I don't even know how we would learn that.
Bryn's, I don't know, patron, friend, spirit.
So Shalone
Shalone?
has the hurricane, and so what Shalone is up to is Segeos is currently, we believe that he's on his island, and Shalone has a hurricane surrounding it. If Segeos can't teleport away, and the hurricane is theoretically trapping him in place, I say theoretically because I think we need to imagine that Segeos is at least 2 levels smarter than everybody else involved. And so Shalone will help us reach the island by giving us a path through the hurricane. However, this does not deal with the issue of the terrain itself.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
just meant since Shallone's been barricading
Yeah.
the island, she might know a little bit more about the terrain.
Yeah, how much
that's a good
intel
point.
has
Yeah,
she
I
gathered
was
off
just
that?
I was just recapping for the benefit of just to as a recap and also for the Twitch audience. But we yes, I agree. That's a very good idea. I can try. I'll add that to my to-do list of gathering information of trying to contact Shalone, and yeah, that might give us something.
Do follow up on that. In the meantime, we might just have to discuss it with the World Eaters.
What
See
if
if they have a
Shalom gave
plan.
us a big lift? Like, what if the wind blew all the ships like into the air and then over into the island somehow?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of insane, but like also
I mean, isn't
if you
Shalom
don't
like a
ask,
god?
if you don't ask, you don't get. Shalone, I believe, is one of the 3 nature spirits of Australia. I believe that they are Shalone, Coin's friend Jatikam, and who's the third one? It's not Kashana. There were
It is Kashana.
oh, it is Kashana. Okay, my mistake. It was the 3 shrines at
They're all
outside
like,
the
are they
library.
like minor gods?
Yeah, they're powerful nature spirits. They're not gods. Maybe all 3 of them together would be. I wonder how the other 2 feel. The other 2 nature spirits feel about.
Shout
feel
out
about
to my boy
Sageos.
Chatty Kam. But I worry he might be landlocked to Estrella. I don't know how much his influence would travel to nearby
Well,
shores.
I say again, if you don't ask, you don't get. I'm wondering if we
True.
need to go back to if we need to go back to Australia to the northern tip and revisit that revisit the cloister and revisit the library. We can talk to the 3 different nature spirits at their shrines and see how much they're willing to help us. And then we can go back to the library and try and revisit the search for books with a renewed understanding of who Sageos is and what he wants. I'm wondering if we should put that on our to-do list.
I really don't want to travel through that desert again, Bryn. But you aren't wrong. It might be beneficial.
We've been to the library before, and I have some books from it. Could we theoretically teleport back? Using the books or anything
I
else
don't
we've
think
taken from the
so,
library as a.
How would they make
Fascinating.
When I
it say
tried
it's
to teleport
impossible?
us there, it stopped us right outside because they had a ward up.
Maybe that would warrant an Arcana or Insight check. Eric,
Okay,
is it
I'm fine
fair
with
to
that.
assume that's worth a try?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's probably for Bryn or Sheen though. I don't know if I can help much.
God
With
damn.
the 37, there's a chance that you guys
Damn.
can teleport there. Yes. Directly
That's
to the
not
library.
exhilarating.
What does chance mean?
What does
Like, it's
chance
not-
mean?
Like it's not physically impossible, or a bunch of specific things need to be done to facilitate it?
Ooh, with the 37, we'll go ahead and expound on that. Because it is a very special place, I'm going to have you guys need to do all the normal things of having an associated object, which you have. But I'm also going to have the D20, and if you roll a nat 1, you will fail. Just because it is a very special place.
Well, there's our answer. So it sounds like heading back to the
What are
library.
the chances of a nat 1 anyway?
I agree.
Almost made it with no one saying that.
It doesn't have to be today or right now. In fact, I think I still have some more books to read, and I think that there's other stuff we would want to do before we try and go back.
Yeah,
But
you give me another. I'm trying to finish my book, and I said I'd bring it back. I'd like to knock this out. Point referencing the Tome of Understanding.
I don't think I got to explain the tooth when you showed up, Bryn, because I was muted by that stupid cake that Coin gave me.
Stupid. I paid 10 gold for that.
Did you know that it did that? Be
I
honest.
know it was made of fruit.
Okay, so
cake that
just,
cake that
just-
silences you. That seems quite useful.
what? Well, actually, wait a second. What if we like got Sagaeos to eat it somehow?
I mean, yeah, that seems extremely strong.
Wait, if we
Force feeding
silence
him
him, he's
cake.
kind of fucked.
Yeah,
That would be good, but
it's,
it's currently. I mean, you've taken like a solid 7 pounds out of it. You didn't even cut a slice. It doesn't exactly look appetizing.
I mean, we could just force feed it to him while we're fighting him.
That's true. I had a similar idea with a potion of dimutation. If we could force him to drink it and make him, I think it makes him tiny.
I don't know if that's to our benefit, to be honest.
You don't think so?
He'd be harder to hit, and I feel like a lot of his strength is not physical. It's from him casting spells and everywhere.
I was thinking he was going to be so hypothetically huge that making him half would really just even the playing field for you.
Sagaeos isn't that big of a dragon.
Hmm. Fair point.
But if he's smaller, then that means the gestures that he makes for the somatic components are also smaller. So that means that the spells are less powerful.
I don't think that's how magic works.
I mean, your magic is really powerful when you're big.
Okay, you know what? That is how magic works. You're right.
Knew it.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the tooth. Yeah, the tooth is a spell casting focus, Bryn. One of the books I read about was like talking about this sort of thing. And so I asked what's his name? Judith's assistant. I can't even remember his name. That guy, whatever.
Argus?
Yeah, I asked yeah, Morgus. Yes. I asked him.
Vargas with a B.
Oh, Bargus. Yeah,
Who's
I asked
Burger?
him. His name was not Burger. I asked him that to like what he could do, and he was like, like a tooth could work. Yeah, well, first he suggested like something on my chest or like something with my heart, and I was like, that's a terrible idea. And I was like, okay, tooth, we can do tooth. And so now I can cast some magic with this thing. And Ruzid like casts prestidigitation on the deck and like sweeps up something. Look at that.
excellent.
An
Well, I know
invaluable
that's
tool.
been a goal of
defeating
yours for a
Sagaeos.
while now to be more adept at casting spells in dragon form. So I'm happy for you that you found that.
Those cobwebs in Sagaeos' closet are as good as gone.
Okay,
We get
let's
there.
calm down. It's not every. Hey, some of us have personal victories, and maybe we should do a better job of boosting each other up rather than tearing each other down when said victories happen.
It is
Just a
really
thought.
fun to tear coin
Valid.
down, though.
For the record, it's an extremely cool tooth. I dig it.
It looks pretty.
Is it like to scale with his other? It's a canine, right? Or is it?
It's one of his two front
Like-
teeth.
Is it like to the same scale as your other front tooth, or is it? Like
That's what I
slightly-
assume. I mean, Ruzid wouldn't have let him do it if that wasn't the case.
It'd be
Ruzid
awkward
would
if
have
it
wanted
was
the
like a
tooth
little
to be
longer.
like the same as one of his other teeth.
Yeah, no, it's just right, not crooked. But this cake, I don't. Yeah, if he eats it, that's going to be beneficial to us. But how do you trick a dragon into eating cake? It's like bringing a horse to water.
Well, like we don't need to trick him. Like I said, we could try to force feed him.
Yeah, I guess with the right throw, or if I just hop up on his jaw, I could probably toss it in there.
Maybe when he's like about to breathe some very dangerous dragon breath, you like throw it in there, and then he
I don't
like
know.
chokes on it.
Have you ever tried to give a cat medicine
What if we just
Like, you could-
cast command, consume, and hand it over?
Wait,
That would probably work better, yeah.
that would work.
Well, I mean, command is a saving throw, right? I think we assume he just never fails a saving throw.
Yeah, it's probably an okay
Also,
guess.
also like
Can
you
we
could
force
just
a fail?
consume like anyone.
Oh yeah, you
me-
could just try to eat someone whole.
Consume cake would be
That's 2 words.
ah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Okay.
great if Sageos just ate one of us.
So this has
But
been a
then
good
again, we'd have
brainstorming session.
I'd give him some
I-
crazy
sorry,
indigestion though. You'd probably stab the
I-
shit out of him.
I do have one more thing I want to bring up.
Please.
Mhm.
But uh, but first of all, how badly do we want to know more about the other orbs of dragonkind?
Kinda
I
feeling
mean,
that one out.
Because
Yeah.
because if I explain why, then we will need to put under the gem of discretion.
Coin will fetch
Really? Okay.
out the gem of discretion. He'll huddle the party within a 15-foot radius or diameter, and then he'll activate it.
Okay.
And before going into the gem of discretion, Saphira will actually wait. Just have to check something. I think it would still. I was considering if taking off my sword and leaving it out of the gem of discretion would change anything, but I think it's just I probably have to like unattune from it entirely.
Okay.
Do we still have that stone in our ship? We got that removed, right?
I believe you did get it removed. Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, I'm going to unattune from the sword
Okay.
and leave it outside of the gem of discretion. But you know, within seeing this, it's like I'm not taking my eyes off of where I put it.
Okay.
Put it on like a
No.
barrel.
Exactly. And also keeping it far from the edge of the deck. It's not falling. I'm not putting it anywhere it can fall overboard.
Okay.
But I'll explain to them. So Ruffian has kind of appeared to me again.
Oh, good.
Last night?
Oh no. Actually it was how many nights ago was it? I think it might have been I can't remember if it was before or after that time I became a dragon for a little bit. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is that it offered to tell us more about the orbs, including potentially where we could find them, who might have them. But in exchange, we wanted our phylactery.
Does that
And
not
I'm bringing the way I see it, I know that some of you are probably reluctant to play ball with her at all, but
It is on the table.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a chip that I don't know if there is a bigger way to cash in that chip.
What did she want for
Now,
this?
if we're her phylactery.
Oh.
I'm extremely cautious to give that to her. Whatever this is, people clearly want it, and phylacteries are rarely a good thing.
Right.
We already have one deal with her, which I'm already nervous about because we don't really know how she's going to use that. I don't want to keep on tying ourselves up with her when honestly, she hasn't exactly proven herself as a good person and hasn't really tried to either.
Do we know what dragons in
Right.
her
You know,
orb?
I don't think I found that part out from her.
I don't know if we can make a deal at all until we know what dragon's in the orb. Because if it's Aura
Well,
Lindra, then I would be willing to give away the phylactery for it. But if it's not, then I don't know if it's worth it.
fair enough.
We could probably negotiate that though. If supposing she knows who's in the orb, we could start off with a small non-phylactery trade, and then if it is that, offer up the full deal.
I still don't even know if that's worth it.
You don't think it's worth it? I mean, isn't this Aura Lindra dragon like super powerful and would super help us kill Sigeos?
Do we really have
Yeah.
a reason to believe Rafinas is like this evil figure? I mean, she's been helping us, and she's a little pushy, but it's a phylactery. I can understand why someone would be.
Good and evil are also such relative and ill-defined concepts. I mean, what makes someone?
All right, I'm
There
gonna
are
keep
some
tabs on that.
number of good things you have to do before you become good with a capital G versus being neutral. I'm like, what if it's good from one person's point of view and evil from another's?
Yeah, anytime you have to talk semantics about good or evil like this, you probably already know that they're not the best person.
Okay, yes, that's true. I am not at any point gonna claim that Venus is a good person, both because you wouldn't believe me and because it's not that. That's not really the important part anyway. The important part is, can she help us, and is the help that she could give us worth the price it would cost to get it?
I think I agree with your reasoning, and I think the answer to your question is still TBD. Because I think that pursuing the orbs of dragonkind is still an open line of inquiry. Whether it is going to be our path to success is, we don't know. I mean, Ruzid, I agree with Ruzid that if we can free a good dragon, then yeah, that seems like a pretty good deal.
Why don't we
But
offer
if-
her a contingency?
Why did we just ask her what's in there? And if she doesn't tell us, then we won't make a deal.
Well, that's my contingency. I agree with you. I think we should tell her. We may give her the phylactery, but she has to tell us what's in it for her, what her relationship with this phylactery is. Like, open table, open book, on the table, all information, like no secrets. That has to be the scenario that she's handed it.
I don't think Rafinus would agree to that. I think Rafinus might agree to telling us what dragon is in the orb. That's what I'm concerned about. I think if Rafinus refuses to tell us what dragon is in the orb, I think there's no point in making a deal.
I'm kind of with Coin on this though. If she wants it badly enough, then she has to be willing to play ball in terms of telling us why, what it's for, what her connection is.
Maybe
Otherwise,
we can do both.
yeah,
Everything
I
on the
don't
table.
know if we could ever trust that it's going to do, that the help will do less harm than this in her hands.
All in favor of having a discussion with Rafinus? Yay or nay? Yay.
Yay.
I say
Okay.
nay, not yet. Maybe in
I
the
say
future,
nay.
but not ready to commit yet.
Tiebreaker, Saphira, unless anyone else is in the gem of discretion currently.
Nay.
What'd you say?
Yay or nay to discussing it with Rafinus?
I thought I heard Tati say something. I was asking.
I said nay, but I stand behind Coin. Whatever Coin wants to do is the right thing.
Thanks, Ati, for canceling out my vote.
And I'm voting yay.
So that's yay for Coin, Saphira, Oshin, Ruzid, and then nay for Bryn, Tati, and Sazin.
Seems like it.
4 yeas, 3 nays.
Can we agree no deals are struck without full party approval?
That I can
That I
agree
can
on.
agree with. Yeah.
How about we crystallize the parameters? So like I mean, first of all, we can try to ask her just in general what she wants with the phylactery. But then when we try to make the deal itself, if that is what we decide to do, we like look for just very specific information that she can give us versus just tell us everything and it turns out that she
Yeah.
knows like two things that are like only barely relevant.
We will keep it limited onto what is exchanged. Okay? Unless anyone is adamant, Coin is going to pause for a moment, then he's gonna stick his head outside of the gem of discretion and just yell, "Hey, Rafinas!"
Yes.
Hey, we wanted to discuss the
What did you want to
the
discuss?
nature of some deals. Sorry, there's a lot of little scribbles on it.
What the heck, dude? Alright, I fixed that.
So, first order of business. We know what you want, but we don't know what you want. And for
Just
us,
to check real quick, does this mean that the gem of discretion is down, or she could hear us through the gem of discretion?
Coin has stepped out of it, but she would not. You guys are still in it. She isn't, presumably.
Okay, cool.
Severe will also step outside of it.
So, for us to even consider making a deal, there's a few things we want put out on the table before any agreements are made. Number one is if you're aware of other orbs, dragon orbs, we want to know who's in it and whether it would serve our cause to even pursue that. That's number one. Number two is what is your business with this phylactery? Who's it from? Who's your relation? All that's got to be on the table before we even consider parting ways with it.
Fine. After all, we already have the deal that you're going to attack Sagaeus. Might as well continue our partnership and put our cards on the table. What's your first question, Coin?
Okay, number one. The other dragon orbs, who do they
Yes.
contain?
Well, the one of the two remaining dragon orbs contains Virigor the Venomous. He's a
Virigor.
vicious creature, not exactly pleasant. He's the one who, well, taught Sagaeus how to fight in combat, teaching him his deviousness and his agile ways.
So I take it he wouldn't be receptive to aiding in the downfall of Sagaeus.
Oh, well, yes, but I wouldn't recommend releasing him. He's as loyal as he is unpredictable. I wouldn't trust Virigor with anything. He's very likely to betray any trust that you give him. Please, don't release him. Or whatever you do, kill Sagaeus before you do. And leave
I
the
can
phylactery
see.
somewhere safe so that he doesn't get a hold of it.
I can see the logic behind that. Okay. Matter of business number two.
Of course, Coin.
What's in that phylactery? Who are they to you? Why do you want it? What are you going to do with it?
Oh, Coin. Would you believe me if I told you I wasn't sure?
I mean, I suppose so, but then I would wonder why you want it so much.
I wanted coin not because it's of personal interest to me, but it would allow me to hold it over someone important.
Hmm.
I'll
Hold it
be
over.
perfectly honest. I want it because Leandro Cervantes wants it. And if I can hold something over him, it'll count as protection and blackmail.
That certainly checks out. I have one more question.
Yes.
If you were driving a horse carriage and you came up to a fork in the road, to your left are 5 people, tied to the ground or whatever.
They could be dragons.
They could be. We don't know. And on the other path, there is one. You are on your way towards the 5, right? You're already headed towards that fork. Do you pull the reins on your horse towards the 1, or do you just let it keep going and kill the 5? Whichever way you go, those people will die. You have to pick a path. Do you intervene and cause directly the death of 1? Or do you abstain and allow 5 to die?
Oh, coin, I'll answer your question once you answer mine. I've answered 2 of yours already. It's fair, right?
Fair. It's fair.
And I promise I will answer it. If you can tell me a good reason why I should.
Well, because my party's got the phylactery in their back pocket for 1, so I need to tip the scale. Still have that.
So
That,
you're looking to blackmail me.
I wasn't looking at it as blackmail. More so, you are pursuing a deal that I decide whether it happens.
Fine, coin.
That is your incentive.
Very well. My incentive is that if I tell you and please you with my answer, I'll get the phylactery. Is that what you're saying?
1 minute. And stay here. Coin's gonna like team huddle back into the gem of discretion.
Coin, that's absolutely not what we're saying. Why would we say that?
Hear me out. She said if her answer pleases, if it pleases me, and I feel like she's not like an implicitly evil figure, what reason do we have for the phylactery? Keep it.
Leverage.
Right, the way she's phrasing it, if the answer pleases you, then she just gets the phylactery
That sounds really stupid.
Yeah. Not to mention,
without us getting the rest.
Well, I would negotiate this so that, we still get the chromatic orb. Or the dragon orb. I don't want to just hand over the phylactery because she asked nicely.
Well, that's kind of
What
what
if-
you were agreeing to a moment ago.
Right,
If
but
we
I want to
told her-
discuss, would we be willing to part with it?
No, because the orb that she has doesn't have Aura Lindra in it. Who cares?
What if
I
you told her,
also-
like,
her not knowing what's in here just even more so still makes me want to hold on to it, because I just don't necessarily trust that she wouldn't make a deal to maybe give it away at some point if it was in her best interest. I think it's still best if we keep it. And also, we all know that Cervantes doesn't particularly like this group. It's our own insurance as well.
Well, you're
if
not
you
wrong.
told her that it's like a party decision, you could tell her that an answer that pleases you guarantees your vote to give it to her.
Honestly, I like that line of thinking. I mean, she'll walk away empty-handed, but she might feel like she has some leverage then.
Just because then it would, like, her answering one question doesn't, I don't think is a
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
trade, but guaranteeing that she's partially to what she wants could be.
Wait, so why are we giving up anything of material value for her answer to like the wagon question? Like, what's the point?
I guess there's really not one. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to offload
I was
this
trying to
thing.
get at that one, Coin.
Good team huddle. Break. And then Coin walks back out of the gem of description.
God, he's such a
All
bad
right.
deal maker sometimes.
We discussed it,
Yes.
and I cannot confirm the phylactery will be handed over on the answer, but I could confirm my individual vote, 1 of 7 with my crew,
Okay.
which would retain for the foreseeable future.
So, Toad Coin, if I'm driving a carriage down the road and I see one path that has one person and one path that has 5 laying down in the road, unable to move,
Yes.
I would stop the carriage. I would walk over, assist the poor souls who have been obviously attacked by bandits, provide them with enough gold to get them to the nearest town, a ration for each of them from my carriage, return to the one by himself, also rendered incapacitated, feed and provide him with coins before jumping back into my carriage and returning to the nearby town to ensure that these poor people managed it safely there and ensure that they receive shelter for the night.
So I think I don't need to ask this, but I may as well. Can I do an insight for whether this is her obviously appeasing or if maybe this is her genuine view? I feel like it's obvious, but
That's up to you.
I may as well. I'm even going to try a lucky on this for 21.
Okay. With a 21. Well, she smiles at you. Does that answer please you, Coin?
Yeah, it pleases me.
Good. After all, I have a reputation as the best bard in all of Toivoa to maintain. It'd be terrible for someone to see me run over 4 bodies.
Yeah, it would be a terrible look. It would bad for the reputation.
Exactly.
So that's 1 of 7 for you. I don't know if we can make any sort of deal to part with it today, though, based on
Such a
this conversation.
shame. It's okay. I trust that you'll do your very best to kill Sageos and then get the skull and provide it to me with Syson's presence. That's still our deal, right?
Our deal is still whole and binding.
Good. It'd be terrible for me to have to spread rumors about Saphira and the rest of your crew.
Okay, that seems petty.
She
But-
smiles.
Fair.
I trust it's not necessary. After all, I do love telling legends of grandeur rather than scuttlebutt of horrible behavior.
I'm a toe to my word.
I'm glad. Is there anything else you need of me, Coin? I do have my tea waiting for me.
None from me. Sip away.
Good day.
Doodles.
And if you need me, Coin, just call.
Like to the sky. Yeah, I can do that.
It doesn't have to be as loud as last time. I'll hear it.
I'll knock. Bum, ba, ba, dum, bum, 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 just like that. Okay. You hear that knock on the wood? You can just appear.
I'll wait for you to call my name. Thank you.
Okay.
Good day. And
That's
she
no
will walk behind the mast and disappear.
Corn turns
Well-
back to the crew.
I guess that turned up nothing.
I mean, we know that there's another orb.
Well, what's interesting also is that name didn't match the earlier name we had in the orb.
Yeah, it's none of the
I
three
think-
big names.
I think I kind of wonder if like, because I think with one of the other ones that we also got different names for the same dragon, right?
Yes.
We could probably legend lore it.
Well, the important thing is that definitely didn't sound like Orlindra, so it's
No.
got to be
Right.
whatever the last one was that's remaining.
As long as it's not Oralindra, I'm not super concerned about getting it.
Well, the idea is if we have 2 dragon orbs, we could still cancel out a theoretical counter call if he uses 2. But I guess if he has 3, it still wouldn't matter. So we may just want to table that for now. It doesn't seem like another orb would be that beneficial to us, I agree.
Comparing it, it sounds like that was Thalzar, I think it is, the Black and Crimson Dragon, corrupting, insatiable hunger, dark acidic magic, destroyed cities. Not good stuff.
Probably a nasty fella. Well, you guys get your ducks in a row. We need to talk to the World Eaters soon about arrival. For now, I'm gonna go read a book.
Okay.
Coin just hops straight upwards
Cool.
and lands in the crow's nest.
Oh, I did want to let everyone know. Saphir and I also picked up this box, which I think has a rod in it, which could be really handy for us. Rod of absorption specifically, but I was told not to open this until we actually got on the beach, which seems interesting because I'm pretty sure it's something that you generally have to attune to. So maybe we don't follow that advice, but could be useful for pretty much anyone to hold, especially spellcasters.
Perhaps.
All right. Well, good brainstorming session, everybody. I think we've made some progress, but we still have some decisions to make. It's nearing the end of the day. Maybe we sleep on this and we can discuss tomorrow. I will try and arrange a meeting with the World Eaters for tomorrow, and we can discuss the logistics of an attack. Do you guys think you might need to go back to town in the near future?
Personally, I'd like to go to Ryport at least once before the actual fight. Not really for things that'll help us, but I'd just like to go.
Yeah, I don't think we need too much more stuff. I do want to get some cool bangles. I agree with Tati.
All right. In that case, Bryn's going to use a sending spell to contact Malachi.
Okay.
And is just going to say, request meeting at noon tomorrow aboard your flagship to discuss logistics of attack.
Oh. Okay. So that's the message you send to Malachi?
Yes.
Okay. My ship is no longer mine. Narzul is in charge. Good luck.
Well, god dang it. I was hoping you would talk to him and then, all right, fine. I'll contact Narzul then.
And you can thank the Monday night group for that.
All right.
Jordan knows why. Think. Richard?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, I'll send the same message to Narzul.
Okay. Narzul will respond. Of course, we will absolutely meet you tomorrow. Aboard the flagship. See you then.
All right. In that case, Bryn's going to go below decks, and he has another book to read.
Before he
Before
goes
the
below
end of the day.
decks.
Okay.
Can I get a perception check, sir?
Certainly.
With a 23, Bryn,
Hit a 19.
on the horizon, you see a figure flying towards you casually. The wings of this creature are enormously wide. It's a dragon flying in your direction from the west.
Interesting. Can I tell from this distance what color it is?
With the setting sun, it looks golden.
All right. I think we're gonna raise the alarm just in case. We're gonna yell "Dragon incoming!" All hands get ready for battle, and then I'm gonna go to the hatch and open it and yell down the hatch the same thing.
Hopefully, this one isn't an oath that it can be reasoned with.
Okay. The crew comes up on deck and prepares for combat.
Should we put them specifically below deck?
Yeah.
Wait, why
You
are
guys
you
get
trying to
below
go
deck.
above deck?
You want them to go
I'm
down?
Battle stations for you guys means get the hell off the deck.
You want to get roasted by a dragon? I don't think so.
So they will go below decks.
I normally that's Coin's job.
All right. The figure flies towards the ship. It's 200 feet above the ship as it will circle the ship. Its wings are 400 feet wide.
Yeah, I'm gonna go below deck. Good luck, everyone.
As it slowly circles the ship, it will come down and look at Ruzid. Ruzid, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Wisdom. Will be.
With a 16, Ruzid, you are frightened of this dragon as it's almost like it could be a predator.
I didn't actually go below deck. He can't be frightened near me.
Okay.
Yay.
The figure will drop into the sea next to the ship, gliding into the water. There's no splash. The head of this figure is still above the side of the ship and looks at you, Ruzid. He could eat you at your current size, Ruzid, swallowing you whole if he chose to.
Damn.
The dragon looks at the people on the ship. Hello.
Coin looks up from his book in the crow's nest and goes, "Holy shit!"
Oh, thank God this one actually speaks.
Quite
Okay.
the entrance. Something we can do for you.
What do you want?
Are you the flight risk?
Yeah, yes.
At the oh, God dang it, Coin. You never give anything away in the opening stages of a negotiation. Ah,
I am the highest one in this boat. I'm the closest to his attack range. I will say what I need to.
I don't think we're much of a flight risk at the moment.
I'm glad.
Also, it's printed on the side of our ship.
Yeah,
in big
Percy is
letters.
looking down at the large text on the side of the ship.
So, you're the ones that I was told we're going to attack Sagaeos.
I don't. Who'd you hear that from?
A friend of mine.
Who's that friend friends with?
Yeah, who is that?
Well, are you going to attack Sagaeos or not?
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, we are gonna attack Sagaeos. What's it? What's it to you?
Ah. Well, then we can be friends.
Oh, thank God.
Sweet August Rose said that you might have some questions for me, and another friend of mine said that you were interested in having a chat. Are you familiar with my angel, Kato?
Ah, yeah, that's. I thought you were.
Are
Yes, we
Yeah.
have met.
wait, is your angel?
Yes.
So then you're
I am Amaria Rosie.
Ruzid actually takes a bow. He says, "I'm graced to be within your presence."
Yeah, I'm sure Kato filled you in on the plan, but in case you need a refresher, 5 days out, we were just gonna kind of sack the place.
I would appreciate a translation if you don't mind. Kato's method of communication can leave something to be lacking from time to time.
Uh, yeah, I can translate. Like, would you prefer? I've gotten really good at charades, but I can just sort of I could just simplify if you want.
Coin, maybe don't sass the dragon god.
I'm genuinely not sassing. I'm
I will
just
tell you
making
what
sure.
Kato told me.
Okay, what did Kato say?
Kato said badasses came to the library and are going to kick Zacchaeus in the balls.
Okay.
I don't think you need a translation. That's pretty dead on.
Oh,
Yeah, that
don't
is-
be snide.
That is pretty close to what's happening. Yes, we are the aforementioned badasses who came to the library, and we are our ship and some other ships are en route to the island where we believe Sageos is, and we intend to, for all intents and purposes, kick him in the balls.
Interesting. Have you seen Akeda?
Have
Akeda.
we? I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh,
Akeda.
Akeda.
Yes,
The-
Akeda is being beset by storms. Shalon is assaulting it. And
Oh,
an image of Akeda under siege is going to appear in the air next to the dragon, looking like this.
We are aware. We're actually in contact with Shalon, and she's going to allow us to get close.
So that's the image of Shalon's siege of
Yeah,
Akeda.
Gary.
I know that at least one person is going to tell me that's impossible. And he's a meteorologist. Anyway.
Nah, they've been injecting stuff into the atmosphere to make this happen. Don't worry.
Climate engineering.
Give it 10 years, it'll be possible.
Hope not. Well, with Shalon currently besieging Sageos' island, and Sweet August Rose's information that you are going to make your way there through whatever means, I have a gift. Unfortunately, I will be unable to assault the island as Sageos is warded against dragons.
Wait, does that mean I'm screwed?
There's like all dragons?
I cannot approach.
I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
I'm like
That-
half dragon. Does that mean I'll be cut in half if I try to approach?
I'm unsure.
There.
Are you the one they called Ruzid?
Yeah, I wanted to learn a little bit more about what your teachings are, or what you kind of stand for. Your angel Kato wasn't really very enlightening.
No, he's
Yeah,
not very
bright.
bright.
You're very bright,
Thank you.
literally.
I've recently ascended to godhood. Not my wish, actually. But one must accept the burden thrust upon us, I suppose.
Oh, so like you're still trying to learn what you even stand for as a god?
Well, I stand for goodness, and I stand for caring, light, and what is right.
That's fair enough.
You say you bring a gift.
Yes,
Of what nature?
you, Coin, do not disappoint. Miss Rose stated that you were quite the greedy individual and would be interested in acquisitions of any kind.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I wasn't talking about sticker price. I just meant like, how sharp of a sword are we talking?
Oh, swords. I'm not going to be providing you with weapons. I believe your weapons are enough as they are. But
Got that right.
she did express that she believed that your ships were inadequately prepared.
We could do for an upgrade, to put it a different way.
Well, I'm not going to upgrade your ship. However, I will provide you with these. And he rolls over one of his hands, and in his hand is a large wooden crate that he will rest on the ship gently, so gently that you don't even hear the wood touch.
Coin's gonna hop down from the crow's nest. How big is this box relative to him?
It's a good 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot crate.
Solid.
Now, I hope this helps. Sageos has brought much suffering to the world, and I would like to see that ended. I will patrol the area around this siege and ensure that nothing escapes.
I couldn't ask for more, truly.
Now, these world eaters, the ones with the red ships, I don't trust them. Do you?
They're not my first choice, but it's sort of the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation.
I trust them enough to do the job they were told to do, which is, loot, burn, generally disrupt Sagaeos. Beyond
I-
that, not much.
We've made sure to streamline their influence so as not to disrupt the local ecosystems, the natives. We are beelining to Sagaeos, and I didn't really talk about it, but hopefully they head straight back to you.
Oh. If they don't, I need to have your permission to attack them. Sweet August Rose wanted to ensure the safety of Toivoa, and the world leaders are an imminent threat.
As someone in an active deal with them, I'm inclined to agree. Morally, yes, if they step out of line, I'm not going to intervene. That said, allow me to discuss that with them so they are aware that they need to just sort of head home after this.
That is just and fair, wise. I will agree to those terms.
Well, thanks for the delivery. Coin taps the top of it with his hand. Does it can he tell if it's hollow? Like the way you
It
tap
is
it and
not
empty it?
hollow. It sounds very full.
Okay, just curious. Much thanks. We will sort through this ASAP and figure out how to best utilize whatever this is.
The dragon smiles at you. Well then, Sea Toad Coin, Ruzid, Kobold of Didit,
Yes.
Safira, Tati, Rendaja, Bringem Flower, Oisin of the Highlands, and Sison, I bid you the best of luck. May you succeed in all your endeavors.
I have one more question for you.
Yes.
When Judith started to talk to me about how I need to set an example for other dragons and try to be better, and then I learned about you and Cato. Well, Cato didn't tell me much about you, but I just feel like if I learned more about your teachings, it would help me kind of realize that goal.
I'm afraid, Ruzid, I haven't done much teaching. I've recently been reincarnated thanks to the efforts of a small kobold, like your true form, named Echo Rex. He sacrificed his life to bring me back. There's so much work to do in the world, Ruzid. So much suffering that needs to be righted. Look for those weaker than you. Find ones that you can help. And protect those you can. You won't be able to help everyone, but help all those who you can help. Bring light to the darkness and shine a beacon against the corruption that is inherent to the world. Only through this can we improve what we see.
I won't forget it.
I trust you won't. And Ruzid, don't follow the path of your mother.
I won't be defined by her. I never was.
Good. Be your own self. When it comes time, Ruzid, remember, you don't need to rely on others or on magic items to be who you are. None of you do. Be well, and go with the blessing of Amaria Rosie. And with a thrust of his wings, he will rise from the sea and sail off to glide past the world eaters and off into the sunset.
Huh.
Well,
Did that really just happen? Did we really just meet Amaria Rosie?
yeah.
I'm
Seems we've
still
been making-
processing.
Yeah, seems we've been making quite the splash.
Well, I can add that to the number of times I've met a dragon that isn't evil and wants to kill us.
It's a new site, that's for sure.
It's nice to have a change of pace for once.
Coin's going to pry open. He'll take like a dagger and he'll pry open the top of this crate. I mean, I think he's gonna make sure he's doing it correctly. He's not destroying anything or triggering anything. But he's going to I trust her, and he's gonna pop the top of it off.
Okay. Cool. Inside, there's boxes. Lots and lots of boxes. They look like lunch boxes, Coin, but not rounded on top. Just like long rectangles.
He's gonna grab one
Okay.
in the top corner of it and inspect it.
Okay. There's a latch on one end.
Is this literally a lunchbox? He's gonna
It's
open
12,
it up.
It's 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep. It weighs 4 pounds.
Is there contents in it?
Do you open it?
He's going to unlatch the
Before-
top of it.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Before you do that,
He waits.
It's possible. I mean, I have no idea what they could have brought, but I was thinking about when we were thinking about how to get to the island. There exists like foldable boats, so it's possible Emmy or Rosie just dropped us off a bunch of them, and once you undo it, it'll turn into a bunch of little dinghies.
Does it have like the lunchbox cartoon illustration of a boat on the front?
It does.
It does. Okay. Well, that answers our question. He's going to take his hand off of the latch and put it
I
back
thought about-
down.
Buying enough of them to get us there, and then I looked up the cost, and it was unrealistic.
Well, there's plenty realistic about what's in front of us.
There are 64 folding boats in the crate.
Wow,
Alright.
this
How are we gonna trick Sigeos into eating these?
Wait, what?
Oh,
they do look
Oh,
like
yeah,
lunchboxes.
it's one folding boat for each of the ships in the fleet, so we only have to make 9 of them.
Yeah, we'll have 9 left over. You're right. Okay, I'm going to pull out. Well, technically, 8 if you count us. I'm gonna take out 8 of these and just put them to the side.
Wait, why do we need them? Can't we just like fly around or, all
I
sorts
guess
of
we
different
don't.
ways to get ashore?
I kind of felt like we were gonna make sure nothing shows up and stomps all of the grunts. But we could just kind of fly ahead.
I thought that
you're
was
right.
my job.
Well, yeah, and
Literally.
that's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying we should travel with them. You can fly. Well, then, first order of business, if not tomorrow, then the next rendezvous is to get these over to the World Eaters. And if we assume that covers that issue, then all we're left to do is to plan the actual raid. We haven't really thought about, once we get to the door, what are we going to do? So when you're going to sleep tonight, just make sure to mull over strategies.
Well, I mean, we need to, in order to figure out what we're actually going to do, we need to understand the island and the layout of it and what
Yeah.
we're looking for, because we now have a better means to approach the island with personnel, but we still don't know exactly what's waiting for us when we get there.
It's going to be hard to find info on that. I don't think another dragon's going to show up and hand the solution to us.
No, but some of our nature spirit friends might. Kashana's is the spirit of knowledge, and Shalon is laying siege to the island right now.
Well, I hope you have a good prayer recited before bed tonight.
I mean, we could also consult the hat, see if that could give us something like a map.
That's a spicy idea.
That's interesting. I never really thought about if it's limited to a producible object or like an abstract interpretive object.
No idea, but it wouldn't hurt to try if we just have an extra use. Worst thing, it says no, or turns someone into a frog or mice or something.
Oh no, how bad would that be? I'm going back to my crow's nest. Coin hops back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I do agree entirely. Out of character. If someone wants to write a poem for that, you're more than welcome to. I'm more than happy to as well, obviously. But Coin will just go back to reading his book for now, in real time.
Okay. Cool. So
But yeah, it sounds like
we'll go down the order real quick and just check on everybody.
Yeah.
So, Ruzin, what are you doing?
After that conversation, Ruza's probably just chilling on the deck of the ship. He's probably not. He's done too much spell casting. He just wants to take a break, and he's kind of contemplative after the talk with Emery Rosie. So he's probably just trying to chill on
Okay.
top of the deck.
Being introspective. Got it.
Yes.
Saphira?
Saphir is gonna go find Sison.
Okay. Sison, what are you up to?
I went downstairs to my room and was going to take it easy for a little bit and then eventually start resting because he didn't really sleep.
All right. You will hear a knock on the door.
I guess I was probably starting to like clean armor and stuff, so he'll just open the door.
You see Saphira. And after last night, do you want to see Saphira right now in your bedroom?
Of course, it's my good friend Saphira. Why wouldn't I? Although he might be a little bit self-conscious having like part of his armor off. Hey, Saphira, come on in.
Thanks. And she'll go on in.
You close the door?
So,
Oh, I just kind of stepped back. Saphira's call.
Saphira, do you close the door?
Saphira does not pay attention to whether or not the door closes. If it closes on its own, it closes on its own.
Okay.
So, remember what you were saying earlier about having spells that can make people tell the truth?
No, for sure. I haven't really had occasion to use it because half the time it's obvious people are lying around here, and the other half we're busy trying to survive.
Like, I don't know what you mean by it being obvious because it's never obvious in my opinion. But I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
I mean, as long as it doesn't involve like randomly killing people or something, yeah, you know, I'd back you up for anything.
Oh no, I would not be randomly killing anyone. I mean, if someone did have to die, it would not be random.
What sort of favor do you want? You trying to figure something out? I take it.
Oh, when Rafina spoke to me about the, you know what, oh, she also said that there might be a traitor among the crew, someone who's trying to get to me on behalf of the.
I'm gonna hold up my hands. I'm gonna step to the door, take a peek around, and see if there's anyone right outside the door or anything like that.
There is not.
I'm going to now close the door.
Okay.
Sorry, that's important, and maybe we should not talk about that if other people can overhear. 1 second. I'm gonna activate. I am holding on to the magical manual of Milfred's Magnificent Mansion. I'm going to activate that and say, let's just step in here. I don't think people can overhear us if we talk in there.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys step into Milfred's mansion, magnificent mansion. Awesome.
Nice. Okay, sorry. Please continue. That's important. I don't want anyone else hearing that if they are anyone here that's dangerous. Do you know anything? Do you know who it could be?
I have no idea who it could be, and I'm not very good at figuring these things out, as you've probably noticed. But she said that they'll play innocent until we get done, and then after we finish with Sigeos, that's when they'll strike.
Do you have any idea? Are you suspecting anyone in like our group itself, or just the people on the ship?
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say there's no way I'd suspect anyone. I mean, after the whole Bipto thing, a little bit harder to say that, but that was kind of a generalized trying to get at us thing. But no, I don't suspect anyone in the actual party.
Okay, that's important. I mean, I wouldn't distrust them either, but on the other hand, like you said with the Bipto thing, you never truly know. There's some people who, I mean, even we don't go back that far when you think about it.
It feels like a lot longer.
It really does. I'm sorry you've been sitting on this though. That kind of felt good.
I mean, I am kind of used to the idea of like if I trust someone, then things kind of end up falling apart eventually, and just depends on whether or not it's like a really bad falling out or just or a tragic falling out or just a regular falling out. This is kind of the longest that I've gone without that happening.
Yeah. I guess I can understand that in a lot of ways. I've wandered through quite a few adventuring groups and haven't really stuck around for most. Well, we should definitely plan what we want to do. We can bring the rest of the group down, talk with everyone about it, see what they want to do, or if you want to try and handle this separately, we could just slowly question people. But it might be easier with the group itself all being on the same page.
I think getting the rest of them in a loop on this probably is a good idea, and then I would kind of like to do this in a way that doesn't tip off Cervantes, but again, not really my strong suit. So
Well, if we want to play things really safe, we can bring all of the crew, not the crew, we can bring all of our team in here and we can question them together. I'll get my spell up and we should be able to know whether or not they're telling the truth. Once we're totally sure everyone there is safe, we could maybe make a plan with everyone. Because, like, yes, I can question people, but they're probably going to know what's happening. But maybe other people in the group have the ability to read minds or something, and maybe we could delve deeper and figure that out.
that's a good idea.
Want to do this tomorrow? We can get everyone bright and early in the morning, get them all ready. Say we have, more planning to do or something, and then go through that.
I think so. I think we could all use some rest.
Yeah, I could.
Oh, thank you, Sison.
Yeah, I got your back. But thanks for telling me. Anytime, if I can help, I will be there.
Of course. One of these days, I'm going to be the one to help you out.
Ah. Hey, hanging around's good enough. I appreciate you being here.
You guys find yourselves in a massive mansion, alone together.
I think Sazin is simply sitting in the silence, not sure what to say.
Order some ice cream. Jesus.
Saphira, what's going through your head right now?
See, I'm not sure at the moment. I
Okay.
think Sapira is reflecting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she'll settle into the companionable silence.
All right. So we're going to pan back to the ship. We will continue checking in. Tati, what are you doing on the ship?
I'm gonna keep Bryn company while he makes us dinner.
Okay. Bryn, what are you making for dinner?
That's a good question. Because Bryn was going to go back and read his books, and then he is reminded that he promised to make everyone dinner. So he'll whip something up. He'll go and ask the crew if they caught anything today.
You would have caught a couple small tuna.
A couple small tuna. All right, not enough to feed the whole gang, but it's a start. What's in the ship's larder? Do we have
It's a fully stocked larder.
fully stocked larder? All right. Well,
You have jars of mayonnaise, olives, pickles, steaks, sausages, breads, all sorts of stuff. Beets.
Excellent.
Yep.
Pancakes. Breakfast for dinner.
Mango.
Pancakes, eggs, and
Pancakes.
sausages.
Based.
Okay. So, pancakes and sausage. Can I please get your survival check, sir?
Absolutely.
An 11. You'll make pancakes. Please
We're
roll
just
your
not-
1d89 to add to the
1D.
flavor.
89, sure. Roll 1d89.
They're really good pancakes.
Works for me.
All right.
Bingo.
As you guys, as 5 of you smell the pancakes, it's delicious. The crew gets very hungry at this. Oshin, you can smell pancakes coming from the galley. What would you be doing?
Once I smell them, would head to the galley, but before that, I would have been trying to read the books I picked up from the library, but really struggling, and just kind of my mind would be going in circles trying to figure out how Amia became a god and whether or not they were being honest in saying that they are.
Okay. An insight check.
I think that, like,
Good.
that's not that he thinks that Amia Rosie is a liar. I
Right.
think, or lying. I think it's more that he doesn't have a religion
Right.
that he follows.
No, this
He
is
thinks
more
that
of
God.
to figure out how that could have happened, not that it was true or
Oh,
false.
okay.
The 23, someone has wished Amaria Rosie into godhood.
Okay.
Literally, the Monday night group did their, chance at never casting wish again to turn Amaria Rosie into a god.
Which is like for the bit.
Yep, it was for the bit.
That's so good.
And they took all the penalties and handled that. Yeah.
So they're the god of impulsivity.
I
Yep.
love making dragon
it was-
gods for the bit.
It was part of a long character arc too.
Yeah. 2 years of character arc to get it to happen.
Nice.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I would have just been, I guess, contemplating, thinking about that until I smelt the pancakes, and then
Cool.
would have tossed the book aside and headed down.
Awesome. Cool. So as you guys have your dinner, we pan finally back to the magnificent mansion where 2 awkward people are sitting there staring at each other.
Counting the stars in the ceiling.
Are you guys just going to stare at each other all night?
Staring contest. Who wins?
Sison?
At
Saphira?
some point, Sazen's gonna feel especially awkward, and just be
Roll.
like, "Well, I mean, we have this place. I'm just gonna probably rest here. But feel free to hang out and stay. It's there's plenty of space. Everyone can find us, of course." And he's gonna go about kind of cleaning his armor for a little bit, and then at some point, I'm assuming we're kind of like on a couch somewhere. We're sitting there. He's gonna come back there if Saphira has or hasn't left, and do his like trance for a while.
Did Satan leave and come back? He said,
He's just kind of been in this room. He's had his armor with him. He's
Okay.
just cleaning it up and kind of staying here.
As you do this, Saphira will be going from room to room, collecting blankets and pillows, and assembling another pillow fort.
Yes.
God damn it.
Okay, 100%. At some point when you're setting it up while I'm still cleaning my armor, I am going to try and whip one to the back of your head.
All right. So, as those 2 perform their pillow forting, we'll go back to the ship. Bryn, after dinner, are you going back to your quarters to read a book?
Yes, I think Bryn is probably not going to be able to sleep until he gets through his reading material for the day.
Okay.
So I believe the last one that we're going to do is called. Let's see. We've done the Whispering Pages of Eternal Torment. The Bloodstained Grimoire of Broken Oaths. We're going to use our last identified charge to make sure it's not going to curse me if I touch it. And if it looks clean, we're gonna try and decipher it.
Okay. Cool. So you're going to do that. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get that information for here. Pulling that up. And this is the Whispering Pages of Eternal Torment.
No, that's the one
sorry.
we did earlier.
That's Bloodstained
I think-
Oath. Sorry.
yeah.
The Bloodstained Grimoire of Broken Oaths. Sorry. Have to pull that up because I closed the window and it's unfortunate. So give me just a second to get back over there. All right, here we are. Pulling it up. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this and paste it to you in Discord, sir. And it is full of dark magic. It is bound in crimson stained leather. And do you want to open it?
Well, I guess that depends. Does the identify spell give me any reason to pause?
Yes. It
Ooh.
will reveal that it carries curses it carries curses of those who betrayed their oaths and met violent ends. So should you read this in its entirety, you would be affected.
Okay,
Or
good to know.
have a chance to be affected, I should say.
All right. We're not planning to read it in its entirety.
Okay.
Rather just look at parts of it to see if we learn anything from Sigeos.
Awesome.
Learn anything about Sigeos. So with that,
There you go, sir.
we'll take extra care to try and skim it more lightly. Let's see. Ooh, this is quite frightening. I think just the sort of introductory parts are going to be enough here.
Okay.
Yeah, so by looking at this book for a little while, we learned that the book contains spells and incantations which give the wielder power to manipulate the loyalties of other people and bind them in unbreakable pacts or curse people who betray him. And this is very interesting. All right, we're going to put this one away without going too much into details.
Okay. Cool.
But yes, that is fascinating that some of his alliances may be more than just one's word.
Yep. All right. So is everyone going to go to bed?
Sleepy time.
Cool. I assume you guys handle watches. Nothing's going to happen tonight as far as your watch goes. You guys can all hit the long rest button.
Nice.
Go ahead and confirm that. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, after 8 hours of being in the magnificent mansion, Saphira and Sison, you guys, sorry, is it 8 hours? I'm going to double check because I forgot. 8 hours, double checking. Uh,
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay. How long would you like to stay inside the mansion, guys? Saphira? Sison?
I'll probably stay long enough to rest.
Okay. Sison?
Yeah, I imagine pillow fort, pillow fight. I'm actually going to take my rest, do my trance, and then at some point when we're both kind of like done, get back out there, probably take our shot at, or at least my shot at the watch.
Cool. So at least 4 hours? 5?
Yeah, I think it's 4 for the trance, so probably like 5 or 6 in total.
Okay. Your choice. How many would you like to spend?
6, unless Saphir would have done something before then.
Saphira?
I mean, I'd probably like. I'm sorry. I kind of.
5 or
lost the
6
thread a
hours
little
do you
bit.
want to stay there?
I mean, I'll just stay as long as Jason's there, and then
All right, so
when he
6
leaves, I'll
hours.
just head to my own bed.
Well, there's a problem. You see, the portal doesn't travel with the ship.
I was wondering if that's what you were going to say.
The ship is 6 hours of traveling south of you guys, and no one knows you're gone. So when you exit, you fall 15 feet into the ocean. And that's where we're going to end for tonight. And we'll come back next week to find out what happens to Saphira and Sison in the middle of the sea. I
You should have brought one of these boats with you.
I hope you guys are having fun with the content. You guys have figured out a ton of stuff today. We are going to come back next week for the next episode of the Toivoan Trainwreck as you guys continue your way southwards towards Akeda and figure out how to assault it, how to deal with Sageos. You got 4 days now before you arrive. What else could happen? Otherwise, guys, have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. If you know someone who wants to play one of my games, send them my way. I'd love to talk to them. I do have 2 one-shots scheduled over at gmeric.com. One's on November 17th, and the other's on November 21st. The Battle Royale has been announced for December, so go check that out as well. There's some cool products on the website, including the Punch Ronaldus Basil in the Face pillow, the apron, the new sweater. If you've not seen the sweater's really comfy and really nice. And
I really want that.
oh, the sweater's great. Yeah.
It looks really cool.
But yeah, guys, we'll be back on Friday evening for the Friday Night Lights. So have a wonderful week, guys. Please stay safe, and we'll catch you guys later.